with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Brought to you on Kiss FM by G. Michael, fashion for everyone. Good morning, Sandy.
Hey, good morning, Blake. How you doing?
We are good. What do you got for us this morning?
Fantastic.
Crazy story.
So, bit of shocking news over the weekend. On Saturday evening, a man was killed after being ran down by another man in his vehicle and ran over several times by said vehicle. So this incident happened down by some warehouses on North Sound Road. And, a young man who's a father of two has now lost his life as a result of this incident.
So you
The
said it
other
was
man is
the owner of. You said it was the owner of the People's Choice Grocery.
Yes. So he does
Wow.
own a local sort of little mini grocery store, produce and grocery store,
The guy
specializing in Jamaican products.
The guy that did the running over was the guy that was the owner of People's Choice.
That's right. Brian Welcome is his name, who's owner of People's Choice Grocery Store in Georgetown. Deceased is Omar Ryan. And it's shocking. I mean, nobody can believe it, to be quite frank. So we'll see where this goes. We'll definitely keep you guys updated on the investigation, and just unbelievable, really.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. The entire community was absolutely shocked on Saturday night as news of this incident got out. The mental health facility, we heard last week that it had been delayed. There was supposed to be a handover that would have happened on the 30th of June. It has been delayed. And the reason for the delay is actually that it has failed electrical inspection.
What has?
The mental health facility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Public Works, it's a Public Works Department project.
Mm-hmm.
And, they can't hand it over to the ministry, I suppose, until they have a final certificate of occupancy. So I guess maybe that's the way of construction projects these days, and government projects may be no different. It's running into a few issues. So, this facility is much, it's been in the works for years, and everybody's waiting for it to come online for obvious reasons. There are a lot of people here that could benefit from having an on-site mental health facility located in the Cayman Islands instead of having to go overseas to seek treatment.
Right.
Mr. McKeever Bush was in court on Friday, and apparently he is saying that he does not have enough money through his lawyer. So he's trying to figure out his financial situation to mount his defense, which is pretty crazy. I think what that means is he'll probably be applying for legal aid.
Okay.
Interesting. Yes. We'll keep you guys abreast. He's due back in court, let me tell you, I think in a week or so. So we'll see if the matter progresses past that, and certainly let you guys know. It's a very interesting, I guess, I don't know. It's interesting. Let me just put it that way.
Well, he's entitled to it if he meets the requirements.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a serious enough, it's a grand court matter, so it's a serious enough charge where he would be, on the face of it, entitled to it based on the charges. But of course, there has to be financial need proven. So I guess we'll get to see and hear more about his finances.
All right.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. Big shout out to the DART organization. They're doing a number of things, including partnering with Lynn University for hospitality training program. They've, launched this hospitality training program, which takes them Caymanian interns and allows them to have, hands-on. It's a 3-month paid on-the-job training and exposure to a variety of the roles in the tourism industry at their properties, including the Ritz-Carlton Kimpton Seafire Resort and Spa, and Hampton by Hilton Grand Cayman. So now they've also partnered with Lynn University to what they say is going to bolster the learning opportunities for these same Caymanian tourism ambassadors. And this is launched, and it's a program that is scheduled to run from the 9th of August to the 3rd of November. And it will be some in-person training by Lynn University's assistant professor, who will, I guess, come here and, boots on the ground and help them with everything from hotel etiquette, guest relations, problem solving, and more. So this seems like quite a good initiative. I'm glad to see that they're stepping up to the plate and doing this. They also announced that they have named their 2023 scholarship recipients. So 3 young ladies were the recipients of this year's scholarships. Leela Solomon Ma, Kayla, this last name, Machingambi, and Allison Owens. Congratulations to these young people who have earned this scholarship through academic performance. So kudos to them.
All right.
Those are your news headlines this beautiful Monday morning, Blake.
Thank you, Sandy. And you can catch her show coming up on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll see you tomorrow for
All right.
Tuesday
Have a
headline.
fantastic day.
All right. So
Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? How you doing, honey? Yeah. Let me grab my links. Sit back, get your coffee ready. Enjoy a little rendition of beloved Al Kiman while I grab all my links for my online listeners.
Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's community radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
Come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live, direct.
It's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
All right. Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Monday morning. Welcome to another edition of the Cold Hard Truth. We are so thankful to be here. Can I just tell y'all? Walking into this week with an attitude of gratitude. Don't forget, you can call the show. 936-BOBO is the telephone number. I hope that you guys are doing fantastic. Yes. Good morning. Let's see who's in class this morning. Everybody's getting an A+ who's here early. We have Miss Vernita, A+ for you. Ervelyn, A+ for you. Good morning. Miss Morna, A+ for you. Dahlia. Good morning, Dahlia. A+ for you too. Debbie's here. Good morning, Miss Debbie. How are you? Look at her with her little grandbaby. So cute. Miss Iva, good morning. Charlotte is here joining us. Keisha. Christine, how are you, beautiful? So good to see you. Diamond Princess Sapphire is here. Everton is in the house. Yes, honey child. Miss Nadine Alba says, Buenos dias, Sandy. ¿Cómo estás? Feliz semana. Yes, thank you. Have a good week too. Miss Joyce Ann is here. Hello, Miss Joyce Ann. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're well. Did I say Olivia already? No? Good morning, Olivia. Welcome. We got perfect attendance this morning. 275 people and increasing by the minute. Miss Barbara, wishing everybody a great day. Miss Dean Sinclair says, very much present today with my mug of tea. Yes, I got mine too, honey child. I got my honey child mug. Oh, yeah. Let me pull it a little bit closer because I think we can be doing a lot of sipping today. We got a lot of interesting topics coming up. Good morning to Miss Lisa DaCosta. She's in the house. How are you? Brian, good morning to you. Oh, I love your little sunshine there, Brian. Wee. Robert is always here, sitting back, listening, drinking his tea. Miss Charlene is here. Hello, Natasha. How you doing, honey child? I heard that you went to the old timers. What's it called? Came on Old Timers, that you had a really good time taking your daddy to sit down and reminisce. I'll be there August. So if you want to come again, I'll be there, and I'll be bringing some food. So make sure y'all come, because y'all know when Sandy sponsors the food, honey child, we gonna step it up a notch or two. Toby, good morning to you. Yes, Leroy is back. He said Leroy is happy to sit in the back of the class because he's always trouble. Leroy always getting himself in trouble. See, he's like self-proclaimed class troublemaker. So he's like, listen, I'm not even gonna come in the front. I'm just gonna sit in the back of the classroom. I want you to come up front. I believe everybody should be an A student. And I want y'all to really pay attention. So come on, when you're in the back, you got all kind of distractions. You probably can't see as well. You know, when I was in high school, I used to move up to the front because I didn't realize at that point I needed glasses. All I know is I couldn't quite see the board and I was like squinting. And one day a teacher said to me, Sandy, I think you might actually need glasses. And I'm like, really? Why do you say that? And they're like, well, you're always sitting in the front. And even though you sit in the front, you're still squinting to see the board. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. Sometimes, Stephen, you might agree with this. You don't even realize how blind you truly are. That can be literal blindness and figurative blindness. Sometimes we can't see what's right in front of us, honey child. And it takes a moment of somebody else pointing out this or that. And we go, Then we have a moment of clarity, right? Osia, good morning to you. How are you? Gina is here. Beautiful Gina. Thank you. Richard is in the house. He said both him and Celine are present. We're going to tick them off on a little board here. Kurt Grizel. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? Michelle is in the house. Miss Juanita is here. Yasmin says, good morning, Sandy. Happy Monday. Y'all know I love a Monday. I'm like, let's get it. No matter what. Mondays are beautiful. Just feels like I'm starting over. A whole new week to accomplish whole new things, and why not? Just be thankful. Miss Dawn is here. Good morning. Marshall from North Carolina. I love that we have Caymanians all over the place as well. Already we've got North Carolina. We've got Scotland, right? I saw, Who's here from Scotland? Charlotte. Stephen is from the UK. Who else is here from overseas? Hit us up. Let us know your location. Keisha is here. Mr. Amelia, Windsor Park, Honey Chow. Sonia, good morning. Jeffrey's here. Jamila is here for it. She says, we're here for the sus. I know it. Almost 400 people now. Look at that. Good morning to Patricia. How are you? We have Akasaka. Yes. Hello. She says, hi. Cold, hard truth. Yeah, we're here for it. Oh, Lord, let me get this name right. Is it Svitlana? Is that right? That's such an unusual name. It's a beautiful name if I'm pronouncing it right. Miss Melita is here. Ooh, y'all coming for the sus. 350 people and rising. 351, 354. Keep on coming on, y'all. Keep on coming on. Natasha says, I loved it. Didn't get to bring him, but we'll wrangle him next time. Oh, you took your hubby. Well, that's nice. Liana, good morning. Paula's here. Alejandro is here. So good to see you. Christine said she missed the car show. Aw, it was good, honey child. We'll talk about that later on because right now we got some, the tea is hot this morning. Let me tell you. Good morning to John and Jim. Cameron is here. Says, got on that PPM red this morning. Is there anything we need to worry about? No, sir. I hate political parties for that reason. I want to wear whatever color looks good on me. Red, green, blue, white, whatever. I love the rainbow. I love all colors of the rainbow. And so I hate that parties, when I was in Jamaica with my husband, he said to me, he doesn't really care much for politics in general, but he said to me, oh, you see those orange flags on the poles? That's because this area is I can't remember which one of their parties, I don't know anything about Jamaican politics. Is it PNP or JPL or JNN or I don't know, whatever. So yeah, but I'm like, what? They put up flags on the poles to say this is a political area that's like controlled by JLP or whoever. I'm like, that's just so stupid. To me, that's just dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. And that's what we need to move away from when it comes to politics. Please, let's not, it's so lowbrow, I know Cameron's only joking, but this is how people take it. Like, you can't wear during political season, you can't wear red because that's associated with this party, or you can't wear a green, or I'm just like, what? We need to just wear whatever the heck we want to wear. And these parties, forget them and their colors and their stupidity. They just need to work their behinds off on behalf of the people of this country. I'm not voting on no party lines. I'm voting for whoever I think is the better candidate. I don't care who they're affiliated with. Kizzy, good morning. Lanny's here. Felicia. Alejandro says the only class he was in front of was geography class. Oh, Jan, good morning. He's warning Leroy not to move up to the front. Do it, Leroy. Be adventurous. Getting your coffee ready, Kizzy? Yes, honey chow. Maislin, thank you. So we're going to be talking about this horrific murder over the weekend. Shaka is Aventura, Miami. Woo, honey chow. Hello, Miami. I haven't been to Aventura in a minute. Miami, but Aventura is a little bit of an extra drive. I used to go there all the time, but I haven't been out there in a minute. Beautiful mall in Aventura. Nice area. Mm-hmm. All right. Richard is joining us from Texas. Lanny says she's right here in Georgetown. Mm-hmm. Dean is loving the color. Says that she has to visit Cayman's embassy, needs some fat food. Mario, good morning. How you doing, honey chow? Maislin says, give us the tea, please. That's PNP colors. I can't even keep up. I don't even know. But to me, I was just like, this don't make no damn sense. Tear those flags down. Be about the people's business. Talking about political parties. Y'all just got to do better. 395 people. Go ahead and push it over. Message your friends. 397. 3 more people. Let's get to 400 this morning. 399. Ooh, who's going to push us over? Somebody about to log on. That's going to be number 400. All right. There we go. 400. Boom. Just like that. So PNP is orange and JLP is green. You see, I don't keep up and I could care less. 402. Woo, honey child. We're here. All right. Miss Donna, good morning. Joseph, good morning to you. Miss Renita says, looking lovely. I love that blouse. Thank you. When I was putting it on this morning, my daughter was like, Mom, you're wearing red? And I'm like, yeah. What's wrong with red? It's a beautiful color. Sometimes she's like, why are you wearing that? I'm like, why not? Carla, so good to see you. Lulu is here. Amanda joining us from Romania. Hello, Amanda. Lanny says you lost weight. Well, I've been working on it. I'm still doing my intermittent fasting most days of the week. And then soon I'm going to get back on the bicycle because I did get my wireless, what's it called? Wireless mic. So I'm going to soon get back on the bike. I got to kick it up now. I don't think I'm going to make my 50 by 50 goal in August, but that's okay. Sometimes you fall short on your goal. And guess what? That's not an excuse to give up. You still refocus and you just keep going. So even if I don't get there till a couple more months, honey child, I'm not going to give up. All right. All right. Dominique says, run things, sis. All right, let's get it. Morning, Miss Marva. I see my camera keep jumping. Hold on 1 second for me. Let me try to remember how to stop that from happening. It's like the autofocus is on. And so it wants to like keep focusing on different things. I did have it locked in. And then, let me see. I think that solved it. You just have hit a little lock button. And then last week, remember, we didn't have a camera on Monday because Marlon, or Tuesday, Monday was a holiday. But Marlon was doing something to it. And so now I think it undoes the settings or something. I don't know. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. So Alejandro wants to know, what am I drinking this morning? I'm a bit hyper. I'm just hyper on life. We got a lot to talk about. Let's hit it. I always drink tea and water, and I alternate between the two. I don't even know which tea this is. Miss Stacy sorts out the tea for me. This one, let me tell you, this one is the yogi tea with a little message. So 418 people on the live stream. Let me tell y'all what the message says. It says your breath fills you with energy. There you go. Anywhere and anytime you need it. Take a deep breath then, because we need to be energized this morning for sure. Let's talk about this, Miss Marva. So, there are, Cameron says the bicycle has cobwebs. Now, no, sir, we're not putting that on no EK. Listen to me. Oh Lord, El Ray, let's talk about that later on. Like I said, we're going to just keep moving. We might not get there by August, which is just next month. That's my birthday month. But we will not be deterred. We will continue on the path, on the good path. All right, so listen to me. There are times in our history when something happens that is so shocking and so unbelievable. And I always think to myself, oh my God, I never thought we would get here. Has it ever happened to you? I remember, let's take a trip down memory lane for a second. The year would be 1996. I came back to the Cayman Islands, finished my first bachelor's degree at USF, said, all right, want to go to law school. I found out Cayman had a law school. I was like, oh, perfect. Let me move back home. I'd been away for 15 years, grew up pretty much in the States, felt like I lost connections with everyone and everything that made me a Caymanian, and I wanted to return. So I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is the plan. Laid out my plan of action. Was a new bride, had a new husband, had 2 dogs. I said, let's make the move. Let's do it. So we came, we visited. I wanted to make sure he would like it, And then we said, okay, we can do this. I came first, and I was here for about, I think, 6 or 8 months before he was then able to wrap up everything and come. He had property there. There was a lot that needed to be done. Yeah. It took a while to get the dogs sorted out. Because remember, coming from the US, they had to be vaccinated with rabies, and you had to then wait a certain amount of time and get a test done. It was a whole process. Shipping my stuff and, moving countries is not easy. So yes. So I came back in those days. If you had one murder incident for the year, that was plenty. And when you think about it, that wasn't really that long ago in many respects. 1997 was 1996, 1997. That wasn't that long ago. So if we had one murder, it was like, mind you, it's probably longer than I'm thinking now. But anyway, if we had one murder, it was like, oh my God, somebody got murdered? What? And then things started to change. You could feel the difference in the air. Yeah? It was palpable. Multiple murders for the year. Stabbing, shooting. Finally, the Cayman Islands government acknowledging that we have gangs in this country. And it was like, oh my gosh. Sorry, there's something on my mic. Yeah. So it was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Another big event was when we had like multiple people shot at the same time. Well, just a couple years ago, we had our first mass shooting. Multiple people shot at the same time and multiple people killed. I'm just like, what on earth? These are just not things that you expect for such a small island. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, this is America is where I expect all that kind of madness, right? I don't put anything past them because their gun culture is just next level crazy. Little Cayman Islands? I don't expect people to be walking around here with machine guns, semi-automatic weapons, Uzis, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what? Shocking. Really shocking. Over the weekend, this was another one of those incidents that really has, in my mind, been a new low for the Cayman Islands. It's like, OMG, how did we get here? If you don't know, if you were asleep this weekend and not paying attention at all, because that's the only way you could have missed the story, honey child, you might have missed that there was a horrific murder that occurred. Almost 500 people. Bring in 500. Bring in 500. I was, I don't even know what I was doing Saturday evening. I don't know what I was doing when I got the first message. Said, oh my gosh, there's a guy down in here that got killed. And I was like, down in where? What? This was around, let me tell you what time this was now. This was 9:38. The first message, Brian from People's Choice just kill a young man around there. Funny enough, before that, actually, someone messaged me and said, I just saw 3 or 4 ambulances drive by. And I said, really? That's interesting. Because, normally that means something going on. Another person said, Sandy, all these ambulances just went by. You know what's going on? I'm like, So this person said at 8:41, I'm hearing about 3 ambulances blazing through GT. Not sure exactly where and what is happening right now. That was at 8:41. I said, oh. At 8:42, I replied. I said, oh, wow, here we go now. You don't hear anything about 3 ambulances going on unless it's something kind of serious. And then somebody else messaged me to say they too had heard some ambulance action. Do you know what's going on? I was like, not yet, but my ears are to the ground. So when I received the first message about this Brian guy, I'm like, who the hell's Brian? I don't even know who the hell Brian is. Who he is, who his mama is, who he's supposed to be. This person almost said it as though he's so well known that I guess I should have known who he was. I've never heard of Brian in my life. Anyway, this individual actually saw what happened up to a certain point. So they were in the vicinity and they were traumatized, I can tell you, by what they saw. They were like, Sandy, I have never in my life seen anything like this. What the hell was this? And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I couldn't believe, honestly. Look at that, 524 people already. I could not believe what this person ended up telling me. That there was some disagreement, and the person ended up chasing this guy down and running him over with his vehicle, not once, but multiple times. They said, Sandy, this poor guy's body. Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that in my life. They started to describe it. I won't describe it this morning because I know some of y'all a little bit sensitive, honey child. Let's just say that it sounded like the kind of thing that nobody should ever have to see. And I was like, what? Somebody purposely ran someone over with their car multiple times? You've got to be kidding me. So the story was that Brian, I guess, lives down in Belford Estates. And it might have started, the argument might have started down in Belford Estates. Now, y'all know where that is. That's all the way down by the police station in Town. And it somehow ends up all the way in Georgetown off of North Sound Road. Now, let me clarify something, because our initial post said something about the fact that, because this is what the person at the scene overheard, but it seems like they got it a little bit wrong, that there was something in terms of the EMT services, 911, might have gotten the location wrong, and they went to the wrong Georgetown Yacht Club. So when the police first sent out their report, they said Georgetown Yacht Club, Scott Marine, Georgetown Yacht Club / North Sound Road. Well, it didn't actually happen at Georgetown Yacht Club at all, or Scott's Marine. It's across the street. There are a set of warehouses. So let me show y'all a picture of these warehouses so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is it. The sign is up there. This is one of the Heritage Holdings properties. You know, Heritage Holdings has a lot of properties. They have a lot of like office space, and they do quite a number of these mini storage and warehouses, right? So apparently this Brian guy has a business there where he actually operates his what's it called? His grocery store from. So that's where it ended up, I guess, because that's his place of business. And so whatever happened with one guy, his name is Omar Ryan, now deceased, got out of his car, and he was run over by Brian. Not once, but like multiple times. Now, you know, when you run somebody over multiple times, you can only assume that you mean to kill that person, honey child. You hit a person once with your car. Huh? You're lucky if that doesn't kill them. When you hit somebody multiple times with your car, well, to me, in my head anyway, that demonstrates an intent to do something extremely serious, aka kill that person. I don't know how else you could possibly classify this. Right? What a murderous situation. And I immediately thought about it, and I said, what would cause this level of rage? What? I don't quite comprehend it. What would you have been doing for someone to make them so upset that they're going to drive all the way from Breakers, Bordentown, Belford Estates, Georgetown, even if you're going a pretty decent speed, that's still what? A 20-minute drive? Did it really start there? In my mind, I'm even questioning if this is real. I'm like, there's no way he could have drove all that time. Because you would have had time to think about it, honey child. Right? Listen, we've all had a moment where you lost your damn mind. Yeah? I don't know. You saw something that made you upset. You just lost control. But 20 minutes later, for you to still be enraged, that would have to be something really I don't even know. I was thinking about it. I couldn't even think of anything in my life that has ever gotten me that enraged where 20 minutes later, I'm still feeling that upset about it. My God. So he runs this man over. This is where his warehouse is, down in there. Now, you know what the saddest thing about this is? This man not only took the life of young Omar, 2 children. The children were actually supposed to come to Cayman on Friday. Here the, oh my God, just the unbelievable storyline. You couldn't make this stuff up. This is like you're sitting there reading a novel. You're watching, what's that TV channel that has all the drama? LMN, Lifetime Movie Networks or whatever, Hallmark movies. You never think about all these little elements. The children were supposed to come on Friday. They didn't come because they couldn't find an escort, I think, to take them to the airport or something. So they were rescheduled to come today. They were coming probably this morning. My God. This is horrible. Absolutely horrific. 2 young children now have lost a father. You know, there's so much violence that we are surrounded by on a regular basis that sometimes people don't even think about the implications on who is left behind. The poor children who now are fatherless. A father who comes to Cayman, I'm sure, to try and make his plight in life a little bit better. Now you have a little boy and a little girl, cute little kids. One is, let me tell you how old they are. Very young kids, actually. What year are we in? 2023? One is, I think, 10. So the little boy is 10 years old, and the little girl is about 9 years old. Her birthday is in August, too. Look at that. My little sweet thing. My goodness. So unbelievable. Now, those children have to grow up without a father who's going to provide for them, who's going to give them little hugs, who is going to love them. That's gone. Right? As adults, we know what it is to lose a parent. Some of y'all might still have your parents around. But those of you who've lost a parent, you know how difficult that is. And, losing a parent in the natural scheme of things because of old age and that sort of thing, well, we expect it at some point in their lives. Losing a parent as a child to violence changes and uproots your entire life. I can't even fathom what that must be like. So what is this all about? Well, this young man, by all accounts, Brian Williams, is it Williams? Brian Welcome, sorry, is his name. Seems to have had a somewhat successful business, I guess. I mean, I am always hesitant when we talk about how successful people's businesses are, because a business can look successful, but that doesn't mean that it is. But anyway, he had this People's Choice grocery store. I never even heard of him before. I mean, I see this thing all the time, but I never paid attention to the name or anything. But here it is, right there in Central. This is right in Central Georgetown. That little plaza there across from FCIB. Had a little grocery store down by the warehouses. You can actually go and pick up your groceries and stuff as well. I think that he sort of specialized in, this is him, specialized in a lot of like Jamaican products and stuff like that, importing Jamaican products. And he seems to have been somewhat well known in the community. I can't say that I've ever even laid eyes on him, maybe, but it certainly doesn't ring any bells. He's the one who took his vehicle and ran over this young man. This is the young man, Omar Ryan, who unfortunately now is deceased in the most horrific way possible. The damage that this incident even did to his body, his family should have never had to see anything like that. And I know that they went to the hospital afterwards, and they were at the hospital into the night having to look at his body. My God. How do we get here? How does this happen? It's horrible. Ran him over and then reversed on top of him yet again at about 11:38 p.m. They were letting people in to see the body. I wouldn't even want, I'm sorry, but I can't even understand it. People who saw it were messaging me at 3:00 in the morning saying, Sandy, I can't sleep. I'm like, I can imagine. You know what it is to just see that? But imagine being the person who could bring yourself to do it. It just is next level crazy. Cameron says his body had to be taken over by an evil spirit. Listen to me. I'm not into no spirits of evil or otherwise. People decide their own actions. Everybody's like, he must have been crazy. I don't know. What I know is Omar is now deceased. Condolences to his family, especially his children. Brian Welcome has now ruined his own life, right? His life will never be the same again. He is going to be, in all likelihood, probably going to jail. I mean, I don't see a jury letting him walk, but you know, with jurors, you can never tell with them, honey child. This is yesterday, the scene of the crime still. This Honda van, I don't know if this belonged to Omar, but they had the area down by the warehouses, still cordoned off. Police were still on location. And this is what happened. Christine says, my God, this is too much. It's beyond anything that I ever imagined would have happened here in the Cayman Islands. Why? Irvin says, premeditated. They better not say it's manslaughter. Again, what would make you so angry? I've heard stories about, it was road rage. He was upset because Omar was moving in on his turf. Omar was like selling produce as well. Somebody said something about, I don't even know. To me, none of it makes any sense. I'm like, competition? Business? This is why you ran somebody down in the streets and took their life? Over some produce? Y'all have got to be kidding me. I'm like, listen to me. There are just some things that I cannot understand. I saw somebody comment on Facebook saying that, boy, don't come between a Jamaican and his money. And I said, wow. Mind you, I know some of our Jamaican friends not gonna like this, but I can tell you all the cold hard truth. I don't really care who like it. The truth of the matter is, folks, Jamaica as a country is one of the most violent countries in the world. And obviously, because of our close connections, we are importing a lot of workers from Jamaica, marrying Jamaicans, the works. And, when you've got a population of 3 million people, it's not that everybody is that way, but even if you have 20% of the population that's way, that's a lot of people, a lot of violence. And we see it in the overall numbers. Let me see who this is calling me. Good morning, caller. Are you trying to get on the program? 936-2626. 936 Bobo. Yeah, 2626. Yes, we are. Okay. All right, there. Thanks. People have lost their life for far less in Jamaica. Remember the shrimp case that I was telling y'all about the other day? Shrimp or lobster, something that was crab. No, it was crab. The woman got shorted by 2 pieces of crab, and somebody ended up losing their life over crab, crustacean. Crabs that are bottom feeders, scavengers. This man ended up losing his life, and that's how the argument started. She was shorted by 2 pieces of crab. This demonstrates, and we need to pay attention here, people's inability. Yeah. Oh gosh, I think my why nobody didn't tell me that the phone might actually be off. That's why I'm not getting no calls. Hold on, let me restart it. This demonstrates a lack of. Every time I charge this phone, you gotta restart it. Why is that Android phones? Can't you start without a All right, hold on. Let me restart the phone here. This demonstrates, folks. There we go. Now it's up. Geez, some peace. The thing goes into a comatose. All right, folks. Lines are open now. My apologies. 936 Bobo. I think this demonstrates a lack of conflict resolution. You can't have a dispute with somebody and not kill him. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. Are you still speaking on the Omar's case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me help bring some light to the Cayman Islands to what took place.
Okay.
What is taking place, what has taken place.
Yes, we appreciate
it. My friend, my employee was murdered by Brian.
Oh,
because
Lord.
He was tired of the mistreatment that he was getting from his former employer, which was
Wait a minute. He used to work for Brian?
He used to work for Brian years ago.
Oh, wow.
And he was exhausted with the mistreatment. Exhausted. And he came to me and my partner, which is MKB Enterprises. He is the founder of that business. Was the one who came.
So they've known each other for a while then.
They've known each other. And the upset of this business being successful came down on Brian.
Wow.
And
so Brian was what, upset that Omar was his competition in the produce business?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. He said it out of his mouth, not 1 time, not 2 times, not 100 times. He has said it, he has walked and spoken it, and he has made it clear to anybody who is around that he is his competition and he dislikes him.
Wow.
This altercation started from a jerk stand where my friend was getting food and he came up on the jerk stand to get food himself and started to throw slurs at him. And my friend left the scene
Wow.
left the scene, and Brian took it upon himself. He was going to follow him.
Mm-mm. Oh my God. Wow. So he follows him all the way to town. Any idea why Omar would have gone at that particular warehouse where Brian's business is located?
No, that is still a very questionable thing, why he may have done so.
Wow.
It's a very questionable thing. But are you also aware that he had his maybe 8-9-year-old in the vehicle while he done this?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
He had
Are
a
you
child
also
in the vehicle?
His child.
Oh my God.
Wife was a
Are
witness
you
to the
kidding
murder.
me?
Are you aware that not only his wife, his child, but his employees were also a witness as they stood there on the phone calling a lawyer?
Oh my God.
I feared for my life. How do you fear for your life if you're in a vehicle and you struck my friend from behind?
Oh my
Did not
God.
know you were coming.
Wow. Oh my God. I cannot believe this.
Our justice system has to prove themselves. They will
Jeez.
prove themselves. If it's the last breath that I use, they have to prove themselves.
I can't even believe what you're telling me. Look, listen.
I have not.
Before you even said this to me, I was like, "This is something out of a book, a novel, a movie that you almost can't believe." Oh my God!
Exactly, because I am living in that world right now, not believing this. Because this can't be true. My friend can't just be gone because what he wanted better for his children. He went to someone and found someone who was interested in him and loved him and took his advice and started a business in hopes to start up to be successful for his children.
My God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. It's just so shocking. What kind of person does this?
Exactly. I don't care what pressure you are under. You could be losing your business, and those are things that he uttered out of his mouth. You may be losing your business. You may be losing whatever it is that you're losing, but you thought not of your child.
Damn.
You ruined your child's life.
Yeah. Wow. Well, he's ruined many people's lives with this decision. I mean, I cannot believe
everyone's life. And I hope his family looks into that and realize that Brian did not love them. They did not care for them because they were not something that he thought about in this act.
How much time do you think passed between when they bucked up on each other at the jerk stand and when the murder actually took place?
Sandra, I am giving it at least 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Wow.
So all of this could have been blown out.
Yeah.
This never had to happen.
Wow.
This never had to happen. Why didn't Brian go to the owner of this business if he had such an issue? Why did he have so much strength for somebody who works there?
Yeah.
Why weren't you the big bad wolf and come to his employer?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that? You see him all the time.
Yeah.
You pass his path every time when you're picking up your check for your business for whatever company when you're delivering. And you never can have a negative word to say out of your mouth to him, but you chose somebody that you felt was a weaker link on the fence. But he had no idea that when he broke that link, he was falling himself. He made himself fall as well.
Wow. Wicked. Thank you, caller.
You're welcome.
936 Bobo is the telephone number. This is difficult to understand. I mean, Evelyn said, I was shaking all day yesterday just thinking about him. He was our supplier for Jamaican produce and a family friend. Which one, Brian or Omar? My God. So that's the argument then. Somebody trying to do their own thing in life. My God, really? This is all about money? Customers? Somebody taking your produce business from you? You're not running down any of the Fosters or Kirkernels, anybody else. They're the big boys. You see how stupid people are? How they don't even think? Here's a fellow Jamaican countryman. And this is what you do, Brian. You bring this to the shores of the Cayman Islands, making other Jamaicans shame to be Jamaicans, because a lot of them like, oh God, it would have to be two Jamaicans involved in an altercation, a murderous situation like this, to make us look bad again. Over what? Over what? Money? Customers? I cannot fathom that what you have now lost would have been worth it. And to hear that you had a child in the car? Oh my God. No, no, no. You see, now I don't know Brian here from the Man in the Moon. And I know some people are messaging us from the first post went up. Oh, you better take that down. That's defamation. It didn't go so, blah, blah, blah. I laugh when people send me foolishness like that, because I'm like, if there's something wrong with aspects of the post or the story, just tell us and we're happy to correct it. Right? Telling us just to take everything down means that you're just his friend and you just don't want the truth to come out there. This is ridiculous. We're not taking nothing like that down. One of the young lady, our page administrator, sent me the message. I said, just ignore that fool. Defamation, go ahead and sue. What are you suing for? They always want threatening you, talking about they can sue you. I say you better try to go sue the truth, because you can't call down defamation, right? If it's 99% accurate, you can't call down defamation either. One little detail not true, and you're like, oh, you got to take that post down. No, we don't. It is just, it speaks to a person's character. Let me say this. I don't know Brian. I don't know Omar. I don't know any of these people. But if you have your child in the car, I even know this from experience, right? There's certain things that I am not going to do with my child in the car. I told y'all before, one time one woman called me from one of these luxury villas about a post on Facebook. She started cussing and going on. And I had my daughter in the car. I just hung up the phone. Because I knew that if I allowed her to stay on the phone, first of all, I didn't want my daughter hearing that type of profanity, especially come from somebody that I don't even know who you are, woman. So she called me back again. And I said, woman, I have my daughter in the car right now. I'm going to caution you to not use another profane word, because this is not going to go the way that you think if you do. You know what she told me? So what? She walked out on her porch. Her kids are there. I was like, okay, well, you might raise your children like hooligans, although you think you're so uppity class, right? Exposing them to all kind of foolishness. That's on you. I'm not exposing my daughter to that. So if you have something to say, you better find the intellectual capacity to be able to say it without using profane words right now. Because I'll park the car and get out of the car where my daughter can't hear me and meet you on your level if that's what's required. So careful. But you see, people who have no regard for children and will do things in front of children, trust me, that says a lot about their character. Not, oh man, in a moment of anger, I just made a mistake. I made a poor decision, because not really a mistake, it's just a poor decision. Yeah? That's different. To have your child in the car and to run over a man multiple times. How old was this child? Doesn't matter. To have anybody in the car doing that, you got some serious character flaws. Let me put it that way. Wow. I see a few people messaging about mental health, and I'm glad that Andrea addressed this. She says, I really wish people would stop confusing mental illness with straight anger issues. Andrea, let me find a applause button for you this morning, honey chill. Because I'm glad you said it. Because it happens all the time. Everybody wants to feign mental health just because they have no self-control. From Miss K-Man, former Miss K-Man, Tiffany Conley, straight down. You're all like, well, for her to find the strength to beat up men, she got to have mental health. No, she has anger problems. She's uncontrollable. There is a difference, right? She might need therapy. I'm not saying she doesn't need therapy. And God, she might even need medication. But not being able to control your behavior, right? To get so angry at people in situations in life because you can't ultimately control them, that is an anger management issue. Your inability to just use your words, conflict resolution. Some people do not have those skills. RD Limited says, as an undisciplined society, Jamaica will continue to struggle for decades to come. Unfortunately, Cayman will go the same way as the Jamaican diaspora takes over here. Wow. I cannot argue with that, but I think RD, a lot of it is because we are undisciplined as well. Regardless of the Jamaican influence. Hardcore, multi-generational Caymanians every single day make excuses for people who are undisciplined. And it has nothing to do with the Jamaican influence or impact. I'm telling you this. Even in my own family, I see it all the time. The same reason why we can sit down and make excuses for these robbers out here robbing people. Oh yeah, but they can't find a job. They don't want a job. Show me where they ever going to apply for a job. That's undisciplined. Not willing to put in the hard work to get things in life. You just want to take it from somebody else. That speaks to being undisciplined. And a lot of our people are suffering from the same sort of issues. Miss Marva says, facts. Anyone thinks this is mental issues, they themselves have mental issues. This is envy, jealousy, and premeditated. Alejandro says that I hope our judicial system doesn't fail us on this one. Well, Omar, I don't know who taking over your business now, but you have screwed yourself in the process. How stupid. I mean, he clearly wasn't thinking too straight. He allowed blind rage that has been apparently building up for years, according to that caller, to just take over. Everton says, it doesn't matter where the guy chose to open up his business. Even if it's in front of his business, everybody makes money and that's it. Don't take someone's life because of competition. As an electrical contractor, I would never do such a thing. And yet we have a lot of company that beside each other, we rent office space besides each other and we just keep it moving. Wow. Morning, Miss Beulah. It is difficult to understand how someone could feel that way. Andrea says he made up his mind to kill that man. That's why he waited till he went to the warehouse alone. My God. Mm-mm-mm. And Dean says the worst part is he's going to go to prison and get fat at government expense. Well, what else are we going to do with him? We can't let him out. Alejandro says, yep, from doing business on our islands for 10 years, I've learned that you can't serve everyone on the island, and there's no such thing as competition. There's no such thing as competition? Well, I mean, there's competition, but what are you going to do about it? I've always said this. Competition, so what? A lot of times we overly focus on our competition when we need to be focused on ourselves. Sometimes you don't need to worry about your competition. You need to focus on what you're doing to keep your customers happy. You might look at some matrix, yes, some comparisons to say, okay, this person has this market share. What are they doing right that maybe I need to improve upon? But this, Jim says it right, wickedness at its prime. This is something totally different. Morning, caller.
Yes, and just to elaborate on the no competition part, right? If you do good business and if you do a good work, you'll always have good customers that will stick around.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such competition to me in a business because yes, they have people that could be better than you, that might be better than you, but as long as you do the work the way how you know your customers like it, I don't think that it will change anything. Simple as that. We can't be here selling a product and then we see Tom, Dick, or Harry selling it for one price and we're going to go and sell it for the higher price like them. We got to have to at least work along the borders where we have a place like East End that might sell gas more expensive than a place like here in Georgetown. Who in the world in the mind will go all the way East End and pay gas up there? Of course, the people that living in East End will buy gas, right? Where's the competition? So, I mean, we all got to pick our poison and just hold our peace because they have some people on the island, right, that do not know how to control their attitude, do not know how to control their mind. And I don't even call it mental illness in them points because it's nothing mental in them things. Nothing mental. These people are just envious. They don't deserve nothing less than what the pigs get.
All right, my dear. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Angela, good morning. She says, that's how I know Omar from working with People's Choice several years ago. Omar was such a humble soul, always smiling. Just saw him 2 weeks ago. Andrea says, Omar didn't come here and turn gangster. He worked hard to make himself and family better. I hope they send him to Jamaica to serve his sentence and not the cushy hotel in Northward. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, dear.
I'm listening to the show and trust me, I'm telling you, my whole body is in full bomb.
Oh my God.
I'm so emotional because that guy, I know him, because he always tell my husband produce by the restaurant, and that guy is such a humble soul. It's like when I saw the message, I could not believe. I said to my husband, you don't know this guy, but right there and then, my husband never did really, he never did really come up like that. But this morning, when my husband really come to me, my husband said to me, he can't believe the man. Because my husband it's like he can't even focus to cook at the restaurant. He said, he can't believe. But the thing is, Sandy, the Bible tells us, the art of mankind is desperately wicked. When this guy could not really to deserve something like that, no matter what happened, then I say, how a man art could be so wicked and cruel to do something like that. No matter when you're on the person, it's like nowadays nobody no believe in talking over things or just letting things slide. Everybody just wants to prove a point. Everybody nowadays is all about proving points. What if you have a business and it's not going the way or you want it to go? And if somebody else is elevating, that doesn't mean to say you have to try to bring down the person. And then now, if a Jamaican and then people are going to say, oh, Jamaican, them have them little dirty ways. It's so disgusting. So we leave a country and come here, and it's like everywhere in the world that we go, people have this bad thing to say about us as Jamaicans. They never deserve that. None of them, I tell you, me But we don't really know him like that so personal, but just him coming to the restaurant and delivering food to us, something like that, me feel some sort of way. It's like, we really can't come to say somebody like that would have really do something so heartless. Your own. All of we are Jamaican and all of we come here to make a better life.
Wow.
Some of us here are still living in denial and don't want to accept that we left our country come here for a better life. Because things that we achieved in Cayman, we basically couldn't achieve that at Jamaica. And a lot of persons cannot accept the fact that, you know what, we live here and we come to Cayman for a better life. And your fellow Jamaican here and things are going for them and it's not now going for your business. Find out from him what you do to make himself an elevation. And then you can make a step towards that too. Because a lot of times when we see in business and nothing now going for our business, it's basically sometimes it's us, you know. Sometimes it's the way or you push yourself out there and because some of them don't really have no customer service. And then another person starts a business and their customer service is so good and then maybe this man produces way more cheaper and persons who are buying from him can afford it at that price and probably your one is a little bit expensive. So what do you think of people are going gravitate to something that is much cheaper?
Of course.
Something to say off, you go do something like that. How hard? You say me hope them give him life on top of life because often I said to that man the art is very cool, wicked. I mean I tell us right now, I talk to you with my eyes they're full of water because me can't see somebody will have a child of your own, you even have your own a child. How the parents know, how the mother or the auntie or the uncle will tell this man's child knows your father gone. All the people them are going to take that. Me I tell them, Sandy, me heart have bleed. Me I tell them, me feel it to the guy. Me I tell him, man, trust me, me feel it. And the fact about it is that the man and them children, them are look forward to come to them father. And if you know, so you have to go tell them, pick me that who they say, you know, your father is no longer here. You can just imagine how them children, they are going to feel for the rest of them life, knowing that before they go say, my father, this is the news when we get that I'm going to live with them forever. And you as a parent, you never think about that.
Imagine.
Something so stupid as person trying to elevate themselves and you feel threatened make you do something like this. You wicked man. Him not to come out of jail. Him not to see the light and be never again because I'm wicked, me I tell you, me Sunday. But me I tell you, you know, the Bible don't lie on me Sunday. As we said before, and me I go say it again, the Bible tell you, say the heart of mankind is desperately wicked. You dare not evil, trust your own, me Sunday. Just have a blessed day and keep safe. Okay?
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it.
Yes,
wow.
ma'am.
I feel you, caller. We have another caller on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sandy.
Morning, darling. How are you?
I'm good. First time calling your show.
Yes, boy. The one and only. Thank you. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, Sandy, I know you're good at investigating and digging and getting information. I did a little digging myself.
Okay.
I understand the accused is a very kind of troublesome person. I understand this is the same gentleman who tracked down one of the employees from Agriculture Department some time back and beat him up because he had held on to his produce he had imported from Jamaica pending, paperwork. You got to have your proper paperwork in place. And he didn't. So this gentleman held on to his, and he actually tracked the guy down and beat him up.
Oh wow! So Omar think he's a real Don then?
Right? Yeah. I got a good friend who was in the custom, who me and her father been friends for from time he was a child, going high school. He was the one who was responsible for getting her fired from the custom because apparently she must be done the same thing to him And what he turned around and went and report her like she was trying to bribe him, asking a bribe from him to release his produce, and got that same man girl fired. That same individual that you're discussing. So we need, and I understand he got away from the agriculture department incident because apparently the police.
Hold on now. Oh gosh, I think we. Sorry.
From the charges.
Caller, say that part again. You said apparently the police.
The investigation. You know how they'll investigate and take it to court, and then you'll get away on a technicality of some sort. I think that was the case. I think he went free on that one because of lack of proper investigation, is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
So I know you're good at investigating and digging up things. Maybe you can shed some more light on that. But yeah, this gentleman seems to be a real bully. Not only bullying, he actually go and hunt you down. You know, apparently he hunt down the wrong person. He should have came up by me and hunt me down. You know. So I think we got some rope still. We had purchased some rope for hanging, and then we abolished the hanging. I think we still got that somewhere because it was very expensive. I think we should hang him out in Middletown, you know, by his neck until he dead. You know, because like I heard some callers call in about him becoming fat, which will be the case, and then have people carrying and hand in shampoo and all those kind of things for him in the prison. No. We got to stop that. We have to nip it in the bud. It's getting too far now. Yeah.
Thank you, caller.
Don't start nothing, and it won't be nothing.
Yeah.
All right, sweetie. You have a good day.
Appreciate it. You too.
Yeah, but you do some investigation and come up with some of that.
Yes, thank you so much.
Some more light on that. Yeah. Okay, honey.
All right, we've got another call on the line. Caller, good morning.
His employer again.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just listening to your show.
Yes. You got some feedback. Sorry, you got some feedback coming through the line there.
Okay, does it sound better?
Yes.
All right. So yes, what that gentleman just said is true, but it's not about Omar. I just wanted, because I heard when you said Omar, it is not about Omar. That was Brian. That is Brian. That is Brian, the owner of People's Choice.
Yes,
Omar,
I think unfortunately people might be. I might have done it earlier where I said the wrong name, but we're talking about Brian. Having a long history of Yes,
that is him. That is him, Miss Sandra. That is indeed him. And Omar's business, MKB Enterprises, it will still go on because his Cayman, the person that started it, will continue it in honor of him. But what I am not liking, I am driving around the Cayman Islands and I am seeing his employees that were witnesses to this incident still working. You're still dropping off produce. The Cayman Islands is still supporting a murderer. You're still giving ammunition to somebody for him to continue to go out there. Is that what we're supporting? I am not telling anyone to come and support me as a business owner.
Yeah.
But go to Progressive and spend your money over there. But do not.
Well, I suppose some people might not have gotten the memo yet. Listen, we have almost 800 people now on the live stream this morning. So I suspect after today's show that maybe that will change.
They will go. Yeah, I hope, I pray and I hope so, Ms. Sandra, especially for his child that was witness to such a horrific incident. That is what burns my soul, Ms. Sandra. To know that he had his child in the car.
I still can't believe it, to be honest. I mean,
his
my
child
God.
hollering, "Daddy, I told you not to run over this man. Daddy, I told you not to run over his man." And his wife to open her stinking mouth to say, "Shut your mouth."
Where was the wife?
Right there, they watched Omar die.
Oh my God. And the wife, where's the wife from?
The wife, she is the Caymanian that has blessed him to be here.
Say what?
She is I will send you a picture of her.
So the wife is a Caymanian, and as this incident is happening, the wife is telling the child to hush his mouth? Because the child was questioning why you ran over this man?
Yes.
Jeez,
like I said, she was there because she was at the warehouse. I'm assuming still working.
Okay.
His employees were at the warehouse, assumingly still working. He left from Bordentown with his child.
Oh my God.
Done this act. His wife, his employees came out and they stood there with their hands folded and watched while he called his lawyer. So he did not call the police. The person resuscitating Omar, his employee, was the one who called the police. He was the one who ran out in the road to go and signal the ambulance when they could not find him.
Wow.
So he did not. And he parked his vehicle, got into his company van, and drove home, leaving Omar there.
But somebody claims that he didn't leave the scene of the incident, so he did leave.
He did leave. Sandra, anything I'm telling you is factual things because this is my employee. Cayman Islands need to know this is what they need to know. I have nothing here is fabricated. I'm telling you what I know, factual from the scene that it started to the scene that it ended.
Which vehicle did he run him over in? Is it the Audi or the company
Audi.
van?
His Audi.
His Audi.
His Audi.
Wow.
And he was struck from back on, and this was confirmed by the RCIPS. So he was struck from back on. So he was unaware of Brian coming now at him.
Wow.
Because he thought he lost him.
It's horrible.
So all of them are, I don't know if you want to call it accomplice, but they were in agreement to this. They were all in agreement for you to stand there and watch like this is a Netflix show on TV while somebody is there trying to help this man. Your concern is, let me call my lawyer. Because this is self-defense. I felt threatened for my life. You have now threatened your life. You have now defined your life.
Yes. And Dean says he's very boisterous and bullying. Talking about Brian, not Omar. So there seems to be a common thread, definitely, of the stories that I've heard about Brian and his personality. That last caller, again, I think everybody recognized that voice. Graham Rankin, aka Tubbs, sharing some of what he has also heard about this man beating up people at agriculture and
he's disgusting.
Getting the young, I mean, this young lady at Customs, I remember this story because we actually covered it. And what happened was apparently he had made allegations against her at her workplace. And I think, unfortunately, she lost control. And that's why she got fired, is because she lost control. But basically, they had to call the police for that incident as well.
She needs her job back now. She needs her job back now. They need to call her and say, sweetheart.
Somebody else says he's the same one that was trying to smuggle in TVs. And when asked by Customs to search, he carried on bad to the point a fight started with one of the warehouse men. Yeah.
Yeah, he had it.
And that he threatened the same young lady at the customs officer, the other customs officer who lost her job, that he had threatened her as well. And the person says,
that is him.
This person says Customs failed. See, if they had addressed that from years ago, he would probably have been investigated and charged for a lot of different that's things that he did.
Exactly.
So
his right to be here in the Cayman Islands gets revoked. He deserves to go the same way how he felt like someone else deserves to go. Painful. You watch somebody for over an hour suffer. before the police and the ambulance got there. And you decided to go. That's what you chose to do.
Caller, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. We have another call on the line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, Sandy, this is a sad day. I mean, I don't know this guy that has passed personally, but when you think about it, this is pure evil. There's no other word. There's no mental. There's no this or whatever. And I actually had some dealings with this Brian, and I never take it to be because he, at least that's when he first started the business. So I guess he was trying to get his foot into the, into the island and whatever. But now you always say don't judge the book by the cover, because if I didn't hear all of this now, I would say no, something went wrong, because this was not how I saw him to be. But you see, this is what happened. We so trusting people, we give them so much let. Who are there to go in and make trouble with law enforcement officers? This is when they get grounded. And again, they're grounded because we foolish Caymanians give them rights to be grounded, like marrying them off. And then they think that Cayman is for them. And I'm sorry, I'm not prejudiced against people, but there's some behaviors, you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. And this, and again, I'm Jamaican background, but the worst nationality that you can give an inch is them people. I'm not calling no name, but them people. Because for some reason they take all us Caymanians for fool, and they come in and do so. You know what? Like that caller said, boycott his business. Boycott his business if this is true, and I'm hoping that it all comes out to, in the whatever. And those people, if it's true again, that has witnessed him and encouraged him, they should be charged. They all should be charged. Simple.
No, I think that certainly adds. I mean, I hope there are cameras there that they can pull camera footage and stuff, because this adds a completely different element now to this story. To know that his Caymanian wife, I don't know who the hell she is, would have been there witnessing this and telling a young child who was saying this is wrong to hush his mouth. This is the same foolishness that I'm saying to RD Limited, talking about our people being undisciplined. Our people, our own people, are evil and undisciplined in supporting people from all walks of life, including Jamaicans, Hondurans, and others who are here doing wrong in this country. And they're willing to turn a blind eye to it because they're benefiting from it, because she's benefiting from the business.
Yeah. But it's other countries that has more element, more criminal element. And we must see that. I mean, look how many Filipinos we have in our country. We don't hear. I mean, they're not perfect. We have our instances and stuff, but because their culture wise is different, they are different. They're not gonna come and beat up on you and threaten you and all of these stuff. So what I'm saying is that we need to be very careful, and like what Philippine country does, they condition their people. They put them through courses. They make them know, hey, you're going to Cayman, you're going to England, you're going to whatever. Must represent the Philippines by being in good behavior. That's what they need. They need to pass that test in order to come here to be a part of us. I mean, we're not here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm here in body, but not in spirit. And we gotta take note like that. My only thing with Omar, God rest his soul, is why did he end up to that warehouse? Why did he go to the police? I don't know. I don't know if something was promised to him to meet him there, or I just don't understand. That's one element of it, and maybe his employer might know. But
I was kind of wondering if he also had a warehouse in that area, because he is in the produce business. So yeah, we'll see if we can get some clarification on that part of the story. But yeah,
she might know that.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay,
thank you so much, caller.
Okay, good.
All right, we have another caller in the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. I say I'm very sad to hear about this incident, because I know I know Brian's mother very good. Very, very good. She used to be one of our good customers when I was working at Boston Freeport Airport, and she was a very quiet person, very pleasant. When I get to find out when the People's Choice opened, because I bought numerous things from out there, and when I got to find out that she was his mother, I asked him one day, I say, and then I tell him, and I say, tell her hi for me when you talk to her. But I bought numerous things from him. He even brought in a cold stove, cold pot or whatever for me, special, because he didn't used to sell them. And he brought that in for me. I got Dutch pot. I got them. I got grater. I got, and I'm so sad to hear that, but I didn't know that. And I know him as from shopping by the store, and I know his wife very good. Or not very good, but I see her. To me, she got no manners because she crossed me. Now we even say, excuse me, and knocked me out of one chair. But I'm sorry to hear that. And I bought several things from the store. So I'm sorry. And I think I saw the other guy bringing produce in there one time, but I don't really know him that much. But I know Brian, and I know his mother for years. Because she was when they used to do the higgling and they called it and came on. She was one of them that used to be one of my top customers for my boss, and because I know plenty of them Jamaicans like that, and I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't think that he should have done something like that. No, he's going to put himself in deep trouble.
Thank you so much. Thank you, caller. All right, folks, 936-2626. The phone lines are open. Oh my God, so many comments. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Alejandro says, we don't expect this, but our constant importation of third world. RD said, I understand the killer is Jamaican as well. Personally, I'm not surprised by this behavior. The reputation that Jamaicans have, they have earned that. Sad but true. No one else to blame. RD also goes on to say that I would love to say, as a Jamaican myself, this don't make me shame to be a Jamaican. Do you watch the Jamaican news daily? We have become used to crime, which is mostly Jamaican, un-Jamaican crime. Morna says, Sandy, they should do the same way that the saying goes, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing? Saddened, very, very saddened today, I tell you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just tuned in, and I'm trying to get caught up on what's going on. Could you just give a recap, please? Maybe other people like me just tuned in too.
Okay.
Yeah. Please.
No problem at all. Thanks for that, caller. So essentially, we have over the weekend, folks, a young man by the name of Omar Ryan. Budding entrepreneur, trying to do his own thing out there, hustling, working hard. Now we know he's a former employee of the man who ended up murdering him. And his name is Brian Welcome, and he's the owner of People's Choice Grocery. Basically, on Saturday night, there was some sort of altercation between the two that started all the way in Bodden Town. This caller said an hour later, 45 minutes, an hour later, they're in Georgetown down by the warehouses. And Brian decides to run Omar over with his vehicle and kills Omar. Ran him over multiple times and actually killed him. Absolutely shocking. Miss Sanya says, nothing mental about Brian Welcome. He's evil, and lie and karma reach him. Hope the heads of customs are shamed. And remember 7 years ago, what he did, prison too good for him. So Miss Sanya, her daughter was the one that he got into some sort of altercation with at customs, ended up, carrying on with her. And unfortunately, I think she responded to him, which, somebody threatens you, you might respond to them too. And she ended up losing her job. The police were actually called to the scene. It was quite an incident from what I understand. So such a sad. Sugar says Omar was the mother and father for his kids. He lived for those kids. Those kids are his entire world. So imagine now their entire world is gone and has collapsed. Sharon says jail is too good for him. Owen says the man, him wicked and had wicked intentions. El Ray says if Welcome is not Caymanian, he should be deported after serving his sentence. The law has to be changed for people who come to this country and commit these types of offenses, that deportation is mandatory, is a mandatory part of the sentence. A clear message has to be sent. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because normally deportation is part of the equation, except someone like Brian, who's married to Caymanian. If the Caymanian decides to fight to keep him here, which sounds like his wife might be that kind of person, it is going to be much more challenging for him to remain in this jurisdiction. And I do agree with you. Maybe we need to change that, but they rely on the Bill of Rights and their right to family life. Well, he's a Jamaican national. That's a 45-minute flight. He could almost swim there, really. He can have a right to family life in that jurisdiction. So if his wife wants to continue to be with him, then, you know, once he's out of prison, 30 years from now, she can certainly make arrangements to do so. I doubt she'll stick around that long, though, between me and you. Between me, you, and the fence posts, I bet you she's not going to stick around. Soka says, I witnessed a similar horror a few years ago. Was outside when I saw a lady walking across the street get hit. Then car after car ran her over. The first car stopped, but the others kept going. 5 a.m. I was screaming my head off, just horrific. Her little bag of groceries were all over the street. A Haitian man hit her on his way to dialysis. He was repeatedly saying, now I'm never going to get to heaven. How he didn't see her, I don't understand. And obviously, Soka, the difference here is that incident, although horrific, was an accident, it sounds like. This incident was very much deliberate. Marva says, personally, I do not think the people of the Cayman Islands should no longer have to pay and maintain these people in HMP. At the end of the case, if found guilty, he should be deported in short time. To have these criminals serve years and we pay for them should now come to an end. So I'm not sure I understand that really, but obviously we have to take care of them while they're in prison. Deportation, definitely. But we can't not pay for them while, you know. Having said that, if his business is an ongoing concern, you know, it would be nice to see some sort of legislation pass where in instances like that, we start to take from these businesses to assist towards the care of these prisoners. Not that most prisoners would have that option, but the ones who do. Dorothy says, I understand Omar was a good, better businessman and treated his customers good. Leroy says Uncle Clem is his competition too. Why he did not go after Uncle Clem, whose warehouse is right across from his. So it looks like what this is, Leroy, based on what that caller has shared with us, this is really a situation of bad blood because, oh, he used to work for me. And, you know, some people have this attitude. Somebody used to work for them. They think that that person is enslaved with them forever. And they shouldn't go out there and open up a business and shouldn't compete with me kind of a mentality. Ann Dean says, okay, I know Brian now. He wanted all the customers, all the restaurants, everywhere he wanted to be the man in delivering food kinds. And I know what I'm talking about. Al Ray says, does this mean child endangerment is added to the charges? Probably not, Joe. Omar says, Claudia, I can't stop crying. I can't get your smile out of my mind. Every time we see and talk, you smile and say, Mom, you okay? You're a good, hardworking man. You became part of my family. Oh, God, you didn't deserve to die like that, but there's a God above. So sad. Miss Dorothy says, I never heard nothing like this in Cayman. Strong Wilt says, good morning, Sandy. They should send him to Jamaica prison so those prisoners could rape him, make him know what time of day it is. Ingrid said the man have criminal mind and we welcome to do business and on this island. Johan says Cayman is becoming more like Jamaica and other regional neighbors every month. No respect for the laws and rules. We are on the path to chaos because people do not fear the consequences and they are CIPS. Sanya says, yes, caller, true. My child was a customs officer, a wicked man, Brian Welcome, and he wrote a letter to customs apologizing to customs about his lies, saying he was angry. Hope Charles Clifford see who he defended. My child is okay now, but karma reach him. Sounds like this man has anger issues from a long time ago. So Nita says, let the law do its job. There's always three sides to a story. My side, your side, and the truth. Why did Omar follow him to the warehouse? Does anybody know how they ended up at the warehouse? Like, how did that part of it happen? Nadine says they need to boycott his business. Andrea says, I know for one, I'm not going back to his store. I've never been, and I certainly wouldn't be starting now. Prudence says his children need to be fed. He should have thought about that beforehand, Prudence. That's a matter for him. Leroy says Brian realized he was not the people's choice no more. Omar was, right? And Dean says if Brian was in Jamaica, he wouldn't be behaving like that. He probably would. He probably behave the same way. And somebody else would have dealt with him differently in Jamaica, though. But I mean, he probably would have gone on the same way. He might have been up in charges for murder as well. Who knows? Ay. What a mess. I tell you. Unbelievable. Let me see here. Oh, good grief. All right. Just hard to believe. 936 Bobo is the telephone number. Miss Alma says we have a lot of good, decent Jamaicans here. It's just like every other country, you have some rotten fruit. And Dean says what they need to do is to let him do 3 months here of his sentence and then send him back to Jamaica to finish his sentence. I don't think that we have an arrangement with Jamaica to take their nationals back. El Rey says pay Jamaica to host jail time. That cost would be half the price. I thank you for that, but I don't actually believe that we have such an arrangement here. So yeah, I don't think that we have that here, believe it or not. So I don't know. We don't have that here, as far as I know. It might not be a bad idea to explore it, though. But I think the biggest problem is that the Jamaicans who the Jamaican government, I should say, we would have to have confidence in them that they would actually keep people incarcerated that we send back, like for the proper amount of time and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if we can really trust that that's going to happen either. And in terms of the treatment, well, I'm sure Jamaican prisons are no walk in the park, except if you have money and access to resources. Then you become like that guy. What's the name of one guy who's an artist, where you have a studio in prison and you have access to making records and releasing records from prison and having the best life. So I think it certainly depends on who you are. You know, I wouldn't have too much faith in their officials doing the right thing. Angela says that Omar's smile was contagious. And she says that I think his business should support Omar's children until they finish university. So let me be very, very clear about this, because this is something that's very, very interesting. You can sue. So Omar has the penal system that is going to deal with him, right? That's the police, the DPP's office. However, you can actually sue him in civil court, sue the company and him, and make him pay for the loss of life for Omar. So this is where a lot of Caribbean people don't know this, and they don't do this because y'all don't believe in suing nobody for wrongful death. Remember O.J. Simpson? He got off, and the two are not connected. So just because, like in O.J.'s case, he got off in the criminal case, that does not mean that he was not found liable On a civil level, which is a preponderance of evidence, it's a different legal burden and it's not as high as in a criminal case. So it is entirely possible for Brian to go through the criminal system, get off, and still have to pay to maintain Omar's children. I want Omar's family to listen to me very, very carefully this morning now, because this is a bit of legal advice. I think Recover could probably help with something like this, wrongful death. Give them a call. They'll give you a free consultation. But it's very, very possible that he would have to pay for the maintenance because that money would be used to maintain those children now that he's taken the life of their father. So he has businesses, he has property, he has stuff, he has assets. So you sue him, and those assets will have to be liquidated and sold once you win a judgment. And that judgment can be for whatever. And then those funds would be utilized to actually help support Omar's children. Don't let the Caymanian wife sit down and continue to run Omar's business, and she's pocketing the money and taking care of her and hers. Did I say the right name just now? I'm getting the names. Brian's business. So don't let Brian's wife, whatever her name is, sit down, continue to run Brian's businesses, has all his assets. He's got an Audi and God knows what else. All that can be liquidated and sold. Yeah. Alejandro says, not a bad idea. Listen to me. Now, nothing can bring Omar back. Nothing can bring Omar back, unfortunately. If we had a time machine, we could turn back the hands of time. I'm sure a lot of people would say, let's do it. It's sad to say nothing can bring Omar back. That being said, it does not mean that Omar should get away from all sorts of liability. That includes criminal liability and civil liability. Civil liability is the lawsuit part where you sue him. They find him civilly responsible for wrongful death, and somebody has to pay. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? Family members, contact Recover and see if they can give you some free legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, but I do have a law degree. See if they can give you some free legal advice on this. Cameron says, when Jam removes the crown, the quicker we can deal with this attorney general we have around. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but Angela says, well, Omar's family needs to wake up and sue the hell out of him and his business. Yes, they do. You do. And that's how you do it. You hire yourself a lawyer, and the lawyers know how to go about it. Sonia says, you're right. Debbie says, what crown are you talking about? I think, Debbie, he's talking about the fact that, I don't know how that's relevant to this conversation, but Jamaica is moving towards having no ties with the UK whatsoever. So technically, constitutionally, the UK is still their head of state, the king, right? So the crown is still their head of state. They're looking to become they become a republic, I think is the correct term, where that connection is no longer there. Johan says, you're correct. However, do you consider Jamaica a safe country for the average Jamaican citizen and residents? If in doubt, look at the statistics and state of the country, which is sad because it's beautiful, rich in culture, and has great people, etc. Like I said, the situation in Jamaica is unfortunate. It's one of the reasons why a lot of Jamaicans leave Jamaica if they have an option. Because, they know that the chances of them becoming victim to crime, even if they're just good, innocent people, is higher than a lot of other places. So the Jamaican diaspora is big and broad, and they go all over the world, sometimes for economic reasons, and a lot of times just to get away from the crime and murderous ways that has taken over their country. And I hate to say it, but part of that diaspora includes criminals and bad-minded people. They also leave Jamaica and continue their bad ways and, end up killing people overseas, So we've seen cases with sexual assault, kidnapping, all sorts of stuff, terrorism. Hate to say it, but Jamaicans get involved in a lot of ish, not just in their own country, but all over the world. It's horrible because, you know, their reputation, they don't have the best reputation in the world. If a customs officer comes up against a Jamaican with a Jamaican passport, trust me, they're going to be digging in them like there's no tomorrow. Just because they have a reputation. Strong Will says, hi, Sandy. Brian's wife soon find another Jamaican man. She's not going to wait on him, probably. Cecil, good morning to you. Says there's no more love in the world. There's so much greed and hate. Everton says, I guarantee you this dude sitting in jail reflect on what freedom is all about. Debbie says the UK needs to get out of Jamaica ASAP. Well, they're not in Jamaica. They just constitutionally remain the head of, although they're independent, Jamaica has still retained this very thin link to the UK and until they become a republic. Alejandro says denial is not the way out. If the man Jamaican, he represents the Jamaicans, not that he represents the particular Jamaicans you're talking about. But I, as a Caymanian, go to the US of A and do bad. Who I now representing the Cayman Islands? Or is it that you think I'm only, what? You think it's only you win a gold, silver, gold, or bronze medal you are represent? You make him a brain hurt with that one, Alejandro. Woo! The brain just went, huh? What the? Okay. All right. So, a sad day, but we've got to move on to other topics. What a heat. Sunita says they leave Jamaica, but take their dirty attitude with them, always in trouble and crimes, killing each other. Darlene says it pay back for him, unfortunately. Beryl says, what really happened, Miss Sandra? Let me in. Well, my dear, you're late. You're late to class. When you show up late, we can't restart the entire lesson. But the good news is you can hit that rewind button on Facebook and on YouTube and re-listen to the whole show. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Oh, ma'am, good morning.
Yes, my dear. How are you?
I am okay. Such havoc in our little country.
I know.
And of course, you're going to hear Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear a lot of good ideas this morning that I think our lawmakers, or legislators, should put their ears to the ground and try to do a better job, because this I see is like little bullet people run up and down the street. You got a bigger mouth than me, so you gonna do what you want to do. When I say run me down, no pun intended, you're gonna do what you want to do because you got a little more coins on here, maybe in Cayman a little longer than the next person. It's a lot of childishness, teenage foolishness going on here that has cost a life, and how many more lives because children are left behind. We sit down in this country and we do nothing, and I'm talking to the lawmakers. I know they can't stand me, and that's why I punish, but I got punished because this is my route, and it's not going so. Long as I can find a telephone and stop them two companies from giving me phone, then I can get a landline from I don't know who. I always have a grief, and thank God for this program this morning, because I remember what one of my umpteen positions are. What happened to this notification in the newspapers? And you don't hear from any of them, and I use the purposefully.
Which notification?
The notification that used to go on maybe before you come back from overseas, that when you're applying for status and this and that and the next thing, you have a name in the paper.
I don't think that's required anymore, honey child.
I know, but why? Because you know why? Lots of people got stopped that way. And I know the prime when you're talking about, I don't want to say the word. My mother would be ashamed of me. She would be expecting it that she wouldn't like it. A lot of sexual favors went on, in my humble opinion, and then I hear, so yeah, I know the party. Because she used to come back and confess, and I didn't know what she was confessing to, because, you know, we never raised them kind of ways and came and really offer sexual favors to get bread, butter, tea, and land. We wasn't raised that way. So she was confessing to me all the time, and I didn't know. But that ran away. We don't know who is here in this country. We don't know how many statuses are granted. We don't know how much PR is granted. We don't know who married to whom. And our foolish, I used to call Cayman men foolish. After last night, I was cussing them. Because you know they're foolish, they're slow and all kind of things. But look like the Cayman woman no faster than then the Cayman man. If you can find a criminal, for God's sake, find one. I want to take that off the street now. That's how I would do it. And I know it's a lot of high water involved in it. Been there, done that, still doing time. But if you can find a criminal, if you got to go wait for the flight out at Oriah, as the nice people say, to wait for a flight to get a husband, then pick up somebody that you can make something out of, that won't go forward. Yeah, I might use you for the little Cayman status and the hook on and the hold on, but if you smart, you use the same way. So you can hold your head up when you go out. Not people out there carrying on in the most bad way, but the Attorney General and the CJ, and from up the other place up the see what I can do, because one person you contacted and you were reading it, you didn't understand why that don't exist. I think what he was trying to explore is that it could be that way in the future. Because we need some solution to this. We can't house nobody in this country who says what our economic situation will look like in 10 years, 15 years, let alone for a life sentence or whatever. We can't we can't house too many people at that rate. So we got to find a solution for jail time. And our dollar is strong right now. Let us utilize what we have around us. We have a strong dollar. And I can understand that, no, we can't trust. And I'm glad that you said it now, me. I'm just repeating what you said. We can't trust, but that's on them. We give them
but here's the problem, right? If you're paying someone, this is where it's important to know you can trust people. Because if you are paying someone to do a job, even if it's overseas, and you know, this man has to be incarcerated. He should not be walking around the streets of Jamaica or any other country for that matter. So if we're going to pay the Jamaican government to house their own nationals, we have to have some confidence and some assurance that actually will be done.
We don't have that, Ms. Sandra. We don't have that, though. There is no guarantee. So
that's what I'm saying. So do you allow this man to potentially not be punished for taking somebody's life?
Well, I'm not even suggesting that, but like you mentioned, we can't trust. No, we can't trust. Well, what we need to do is send one from Territory A to Territory B then.
And I don't think even the UK can take him, but anyway.
We got to have now. Remember, just since my king Charles III. Remember,
but listen, let me say this. Listen, our legislators have been so poor at negotiating with Jamaica. We can't even negotiate with the visa issue that I've been talking about.
I don't want to hear it, Miss Sandra. My heart is already breaking this morning. You can hear that. I don't want to hear it from you. I do not.
I've got confirmation that this change that you're talking about, where we no longer advertise people who are getting status or PR in the newspaper, that was at least 15, 20 years ago. That was changed.
It's still not right today. Can't we revisit? I don't care who is sending the message. Look here, that might be even more than 15 or 20 years. Because I left my first radio job in 1988. So add it up. But
here's a question. Welly says, if you're affected by Jamaicans' behavior and feel that you and your country will be better off without them, why not pack up everyone and send them home?
Look here. I had a long teenage relationship up into my adulthood with one.
Yeah. And I mean, no one is saying, to be clear, no one is saying that all Jamaicans are criminals and all Jamaicans are like this. We have a lot of good Jamaican people even here.
But
I mean, my grandfather was one of them. He shouldn't have to be. I mean, he's obviously long gone, but I'm saying, you know, the good people shouldn't have to suffer for the bad. Ideally, but
and guess what? If those same people like this morning, it must have hit them, it must have rubbed them, but you know, it seemed like it's two Jamaicans who could rub them. If when Jamaicans do wrong here or anywhere else, if they will get up and say, you know that is wrong, I know on your side. If you have Caymanians swipe down Caymanians, sometimes me myself sorry for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we heard a Jamaican lady call earlier in this program, and she expressed her feelings on the situation. And I think this is when Jamaicans need to be vocal, is when one of your own does something deplorable like this. You know, call in and say, listen, this man does not represent me as a Jamaican. He does not represent us as a Jamaican people. He is a POS, and you know, he should get what's coming to him if all these allegations are proven to be true.
But they would forget all that. But one thing they do remember to say, there's good and bad in everything, good and bad in everyone. I don't want to hear that story. You notice when you're talking about the people up there that is Cayman, your whole Cayman down on top of them. Yeah, because we're not used to that and we don't want that. And rather worse, I don't want nobody from no other country coming here messing up the name of my country on the international scene. Yeah. That irks me, and we still provide bread and water for everybody here. It irks me on having respect for this little country where you could come and you could get something that you got warehouse, you got car, you got wife, you got
all these things that you probably would have never achieved in Jamaica. Let's be honest.
There we go. I left a man to go in and work in another man's country, and that's because I knew I wasn't going nowhere. I knew that we have an entire industry, an entire demographic of people called seamen who left their man to go work all over this world.
Andrea said we don't want him or claim him. Not even the Jamaicans are want him.
Talk about him then, like how we would talk about ours.
Yeah.
Talk about him. Talk about him. Talk about all the rest of them too, not just him, because he has been emboldened to do that because, oh my God, from Bordertown to Georgetown.
Well, it seems that Brian, and my apologies, I think this morning I've been getting the names. I'm meaning to say Brian and saying Omar, so my apologies for that. But everybody knows I'm talking about Brian. And I think that, you know, Brian, you know, he's made his decisions, and obviously he seems to have a history of behavior trailing him that, as one person said, had he been checked before, maybe that he would not have had the opportunity to do this.
Exactly. And it might even be like this, say, when he locked up in jail for something else, he would have said to himself, well, boy, and I can get away with this because them Cayman people don't like that. And boy, my bread and butter is buttered, yeah. Because I was somebody that used to go to the little shop across the unshade room from that sandwich shop. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to call no name to anger nobody. I used to go out there, and I can't find out whether that's the perpetrator or the victim. But I used to go there.
That is the perpetrator. That's Brian's shop, right across from Anderson Square.
But you know, I mean, oh come on! And these are young men. Imagine the families back in Jamaica looking and waiting for Christmas coming. Now they say, well, you know, I get a little bit from Brian, I can get a little bit from this other one, and we can make a Christmas. Are they coming down and we can make a Christmas? Imagine your family, young man. You got a wife who seems to stick up for you for whatever. And you know, you don't want to get a Caymanian woman on your side because you got something that can be sucked onto you forever. Well, how could you do something like this?
Yeah, but you can't suck on to wrongdoing. So I don't know what the wife's thinking.
I don't know.
But anyway, that's a whole other matter.
I am peaceful this morning because here my country name gone abroad again. And we got people that say they can legislate for us and they can't do one thing.
And let me show y'all something when you talk about the fact that our name, as Ms. Charlene is saying, has gone abroad. Pink Wall, which is a huge online platform. Anybody who's on social media and, you know, pays attention, especially to anything happening, Pink Wall mix-up group and whatever on social media, will know that Pink Wall is huge. And they have over 500,000 followers. They have posted this morning, as we can see, well, 16 hours ago. So I guess technically that would have been yesterday. Jamaican man fatally wounded in Cayman. That's what their headline says. And then they screenshot someone who says, Omar, come back. Gali and Kamari need you. Wake up, Omar. And I'm assuming that that's his kids. Me can't believe, no, this not real at all. So they've screenshot that post and posted up. But hear what they said. Jamaican man fatally wounded in Cayman. What they need to say is Jamaican killed a Jamaican in Cayman. But of course, you know, our name done gone to the dogs, even in relation to this situation.
Because you are worth something, and Caymanians need to learn that too. You are worth something. Every little business man, because that's basically what they are. I've had them offered to me too. And as usual, you see, I'm as poor as a church mouse. I never take none up because I am bigger than that. I stand taller than that, and my country is worth more than that. They will never come off the plane, and I'm not just talking about people from yard or from all over the world. They look you up. They like what some young people said to me the other night. Miss Charlie, they say, Miss Charlie, say, look here, here, what the girl tell me. Say, boo, come here. Say, we out sharking, but we never see no pray. What about you? Yes. Oh, Jesus. So, you know, when they out sharking and they going through all the prey, and then they look at the people like myself that sit on the bottom and say, you won't come up here on the second round. And it's always with a financial capability or goal at the end of the line. So I think everything here is a business marriage. Because there's just not that financing into it. So they don't really care. They just want to get through. And our legislators, the first thing they sing, we're not getting out nobody bedroom. That's your job. Pull back the cotton stick off the roof. Get up in the bedroom. That's where it's stemming from. Anyway, Miss Sandra, I like I said today, my heart is breaking because not only for two families, because the person on the perpetrator side, the people on the perpetrator side might be the best people in the world. You don't know, they might be the best people in the world with good potential for the children and everything. And most of it gone up in smoke here now. Because that hatred in two Jamaican families in Cayman, two Jamaican families in Jamaica, what is it? Is it worth it for a little bit of business? And, you know, smooth your customer. Have a day sale longer than the other one, or have a sale on the day when that one not having sale. You know, give good customer service. That's how you fight. You know how I gone. Have a nice day.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. 936 Bobo is his telephone number. Another caller calling in. Good morning. Oh, hold on. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning, Ms. Sandra.
Yes, good morning.
This is Amjad.
Hello.
First, you know, I want to speak about something very important. For so long, we in this country suffering this bus system problem. And we trying to talk to, at the time when we was Mr. Brian in charge of, for 3 or many years, we trying to talk in the public radio about the public bus system. It's not working.
Oh, Amjad, can I ask you? I wasn't sure what your topic was, but that's completely off topic this morning. And I'm trying to stay on topic. So I was hoping you had some comments to make about the murder that happened over the weekend. That's changing and going a completely different direction. So can I ask you to maybe reach out to us about your concerns, and then we can have maybe one day when we have nothing else to talk about, we can do an open mic section, or we can dedicate some specific time to what your concerns are with the public buses?
Yes, I just want to say that I agree with you that, you know, in this community, that we need always peace, no killing, no problems. Anyone in this country know that is a Jamaican who killed a Jamaican. So it is very sad, that we lose somebody, yes. But I think the media need to write the truth. When they write about Cayman, what happened in Cayman, they need to write the truth, because the media need to be honest and to need to be truthful. That's the problem. That's the problem in this country. Today, I think immigration need to do his duty, clean up this country from some criminals, some people who doing problems, making bad names for themselves, for the Jamaican people, for everybody. And they are harassing people. They are selling drugs in the street. They are killing our children with the drugs. They are selling gambling, sitting in Georgetown, selling gambling stuff and all of those. I think we need to immigration do his duties and try check everyone. If people are in a work permit in this country and not working, not doing anything, they need to send them out, because they are just a waste of time and they are potential to thief, to kill, to do all kind of criminal stuff.
Okay. All right, caller.
Last thing I want to say, we need a solution for the bus system. I am calling in Mr. J.E. Banks to do something. I thank him. He take over now. The minister doing a great job in North Side. We see new roads. We see a lot of work. We just need to see a solution for the bus system. It's not working. Those in the transport authority, they're not doing their job right. We need to see a solution. I thank you, Ms. Sandra, and I appreciate your program.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, folks, 936-2626 is the telephone number. I'm trying to stay on topic just a little bit this morning if we can. We're going to go ahead and change gears from this tragic situation. Again, our condolences to the family of Omar Ryan, tragically killed on Saturday evening. I don't even think Omar is 30 yet, but leaves behind 2 young children. So our prayers and thoughts go up to Omar's family and his children especially. And indeed, justice, we look for justice to be served in this case. All right, folks, let's take a little commercial break, and then we're going to switch gears. There's a couple of things that I want to try to get to this morning. I know sometimes we can end up talking for 3 hours about one topic, but I do want to talk about a few other things this morning as well. Stay tuned after these messages.
For 20 years, we've committed to helping the people of the Cayman Islands live longer, healthier, and happier lives. But healthcare and the expectations of patients are rapidly evolving, and so must we. We have made incredible clinical and technological advancements and achieved JCI accreditation, the internationally recognized gold seal of approval for patient safety and quality of care. So it's time for our image to reflect our transformation from a local hospital to a world-class healthcare authority, with a new logo that symbolizes national duty and pride, a statement that reinforces our commitment to our patients every step of the way, with colors as bold as our mission to provide the highest quality healthcare. Dynamic, professional, skilled, committed, caring. This is HSA.
Now, y'all love Popeyes for my fried chicken, but the real ones also love my salty, flaky, covered in butter biscuits. Well, biscuit fans, have I got a treat for you. Introducing new irresistible strawberry biscuits at Popeyes. The perfect balance of salty and sweet thanks to decadent strawberry bits baked right in and mouth-watering creamy icing on top. The perfect dessert for just $2.29, or grab 6 pieces for $12.59.
Strawberry biscuits forever.
Not forever, I'm afraid, honey. Limited time only, and only at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen on Eastern Avenue.
Ocean Ridge Heights offers an amazing opportunity to own a piece of land in idyllic Cayman Brac, right on the bluff, starting from $80,000. Located in a quiet residential area with high elevation, these lots are ideal for a future home or investment property and are sure to go fast. Cayman Brac offers a laid-back lifestyle, amazing pristine diving, limestone caves, diverse flora, along with amazing wildlife. Inquire about the owner financing options so that you can secure your piece of paradise today. With only a few lots remaining, these are sure to go before you know it. Contact Crichton Properties today on 345-949-5250 or info@crichtonproperties.com.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Thank you so much. Again, we're going to switch gears a little bit. A couple things I want to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about something political this morning. You're going to give me a minute to get to that. But before we get to that, I do want to address this ongoing concern about CUC and the electric bills. I've been noticing over the last couple of days, there have been a couple of posts on social media about this. And it's kind of crazy. But I see people posting their bills. I'm going to give you all an example. They're posting it in groups. I'm assuming it's for the world to see. Someone posted a bill for $1,900 saying that this is their bill. And they then described, give me 1 second. Let me pull this detailed information up here. They then described their situation of like their square footage of their home, et cetera, et cetera. I think that it's less than genuous less than, it was not genuous. That's not the word I'm looking for. It's disingenuous. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yes. To represent things in a particular way. Let me tell you what I mean, right? When you post the bill, and I'm actually going to pull up my bill here because, to be honest, I don't look at the bill because, my husband takes care of that. But he does tell me, oh, the bill was, sometimes he'll say, oh, the bill was whatever this month. We are a household that are very, very heavy users of electricity. And so we have done everything in our power to try to bring our utility bill down. So the last bill that we received was $732.83. I think it's interesting. I actually want to look at this bill because I want to look at something here. I mean, CUC has one pile of stuff in the beginning of the bill, important notice. Your statement is on the opposite page. They're talking about the decline in the fuel and what that means. They go to great lengths, I must say, to try to explain to you what the rate is as of May, what it is as of June. I mean, if you received your bill, let me just show this to you guys. You guys would have all seen this at this particular time. And I guess it's a thing to do. It's popular to complain about the banks. It's popular to complain about CUC. All like the attention, I think, sometimes that it gives you on social media. For you to get a couple comments and start complaining about, oh, look at my bill. Woe is me. Woe is me. Woe is me. Okay. Hold on now. I do want to pull up my, give me 1 second. I'm actually going to pull up my bill because I want to show you all something that I think is important, right? First of all, the bill that I saw said that there was a past due amount for the $1,900 and something dollars. So my question is, how many months is that? The indication from the post made it feel like and sound like that was 1 month. It said amount past due, $1,968.07. So how much of that is actually your last bill versus, is that 2 months? Is that 3 months? I don't really know. Like they cut it off where you couldn't read those details. And I think we need to be fair to CUC. Let me be very, very clear. I'm the first to call out any BS when it's needed. And I'm also the first to say, let's be fair to people, right? Organizations try to do the right thing. Every business is in the business of making money. And I chuckle sometimes when these people themselves are business owners. And when people complain about their pricing and whatever, they're like, well, they don't understand the nature of my business. Well, clearly you don't understand the nature of CUC's business either. And you're being less than genuine when you start to post things without all of the available details. So you say that your bill has gone up. No, they didn't even say that. They said this is a mortgage or 3 car payments. How do these people sleep at night? And I have a propane dryer, range, and hot water heater, all LED lights, and keep my AC at 78. What more could I do? Well, actually, there's more that you can do, including make sure your AC units are being serviced properly, right? Somebody said this morning, Sandy, a lot of people think just because it's high SEERs that means that it's high efficient and it's running at optimal level. And that's not necessarily true. So there is more that you can do. You can check the insulation. You can check your foaming. You can make sure your windows are properly sealed. You can make sure your windows are tinted. There's a lot that you can do. Now, when you have a household of all 5, 6, 7 people in your household, you have to kind of expect that maybe the problem is the people in the household and the usage. So one person asked the question, what's the square footage of your house? They say 3,900. That's a damn big house. I've got a 4,000 square foot house, right? It takes a lot to cool a 4,000 square foot house, even with multiple units. The person says, how does your usage compare? This is a good question because it's one of those things that for some reason people never actually discuss, and I would like to know why. Everybody tells you the dollar amount of their CUC bill. Why is it that nobody tells you their usage? Do y'all understand that there's actually a difference? Usage is your kilowatt hours. Every single one of you, and I dare you right now to call me on the line, 936-2626. Tell me what your usage was last month, the month before, because this is June's bill, and tell me what the usage is now with this bill that you just got. 2 things I know for sure that is going to be evident. Your usage is not the same. And number 2, the month of June was a hotter month. We just had, and a lot of you may have seen this if you're paying half attention to what's happening in the world. We just had some of the highest temperatures recorded in the history of the world. Hold on here now. Thursday was the planet's warmest day on record. Y'all understand what that means for things like your poor little AC unit? That means that your AC unit has never seen temperatures like this ever before. So your AC unit don't even know what to do. Working overtime. Oh my gosh. I am just flabbergasted, right? At the lack of, I don't know, like I said, if y'all are looking at tension, if you're just trying to jump on this whole cloud of, oh yeah, everybody's hating on CUC, let me be part of the bandwagon so I can get some sympathy too. I'm not really sure what this is all about. But what I know is it's not a fair position for you to just say what your dollar amount is, and that's it. Because guess what? I have a house that is on par with this house in terms of square footage, 4,000 square feet. I'm a high-end user. And if my bill is only $732 and yours is $1,900, you need to tell me why. I would really have some questions about your usage. Hold on now. Let me show y'all. I'm going to show you my usage. I ain't got no problem showing y'all what I use. I'm just redacting some personal details on my account, like my account number. I suppose all you can do with that is pay my bill if you want. I don't think anybody wants to do that. But let me just show y'all my bill. So hold on a second. And this is what I want y'all to do. You complain about your CUC bill? Let me see your CUC bill from this month and the last previous months that were cheaper, right? I want to see what your usage actually is. You can't cuss people. And like I said, it really grates my, I don't even know what you want to call it, right? As a business owner myself, if you understand certain things about business, when people complain about your price, you have an excuse and you need to hush. Because you know what supposedly it takes to run a business. Here's my CUC bill, y'all. Take a look at this. Okay? This is a little letter that they sent beforehand. My bill was, I'm going to pull it up on this other screen so I can see it as well because the eye is not as good as they used to be. $732.83. Yes? My previous bill was actually more than that. So believe it or not, my bill went down by over $100. That's interesting, Sandy. How your bill went down, honey child. Well, you know, I'm still hustling, trying to make sure I'm consistent with keeping everything. They say 78 degrees. I'll be the first to tell you at night that AC not no 78 degrees because I'll be hot, honey child. I don't know if menopause soon set in or what it is, but at night I feel like I need it at about 77 or maybe even 76. I still be under the covers like a fool, under the sheets and the covers because that's how foolish we are. Right? We hot and we still covered up. But I find at night sometimes I'm throwing that off too. I'm like, oh, I can't, the heat, I can't take it. I was out this weekend and I tell you no word of lie. My body has never felt that kind of heat in my life. I was like, look, yeah, this heat is serious, you know. I was drinking so much water on Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday we went out to Cayman Bay for a little bit, took poor Zeus. Oh my God, his poor little tongue was hanging out, his mouth all curled up. I said, no, we got to take him back inside. At one point I said to Marlon, pick him up because we're not appreciating he's walking on the sidewalk and stuff at Cayman Bay. I'm like, that is sweltering. The feel like temperature, the index is like 110 degrees. It's hot. And if you staying home, sitting down up in AC, y'all know you be dropping that below 78 degrees. I don't care what you're fat behind trying to tell people. Right? And the bigger you are, the hotter you feel. Oh, you can't move because of the heat. Show me your usage. Every single one of you. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is right now today. Okay? I got $150 to put towards your CUC bill. If you are willing to show me your CUC bill for the past 3 months, and if your usage has gone down for this last bill, but your bill is higher, which we know that's the fuel factor, right? Show it to me and I will contribute $150 to your CUC bill. Y'all listening? Miss Sue, I saw you commenting. You shared your bill. You shared your complaints. Let me see your usage. Don't show me the dollar amount. Show me the usage. CUC not charging you for something that you do not use. Okay? This is not a pie in the sky type of situation. So if you look closely, folks, at my usage, and again, I consider myself, and so does CUC, I can tell you that, a high-end user. I'm averaging some months over 3,000 kilowatt per hour consumption. And I know why that is. And I don't complain because I know all the equipment I have here. It makes sense. And yes, I have solar panels. Like I said, I've done everything in my power. I can see that the month of January was the lowest. Again, consumption is down, but fuel was probably down that month as well. Okay? The month of May, my usage has gone down from 3,836 kilowatts to 3,246 for June. That's why my bill is cheaper. And you know why? I was away for an entire week in the month of, when I was last month. So that makes sense. I see y'all be talking about, well, I'd be away for the whole month. My bill's still the same. That is a lie. You might still have a bill. You might still think, well, it's still too much for somebody who wasn't here. But listen, there are things that still use electricity, huh? Power don't just make up itself. I mean, come on, folks. So because we were away for 1 week, we saw a difference of what? 100 and what I told y'all it was 100 and something dollars, over $100. 892 minus 732 is what? You do the math. 892 minus 732. That's $160 that my bill went down by. Thank you to my solar panels. I still saved $380. This bill would have been more. Educate yourselves about your available options, what you're doing. I still feel like I could probably have more foam in my ceiling and stuff like that, right? I'm sure there's more that I could be doing. I want to do an audit. The last time CUC was here, they told you guys about these devices that talk about, what your power usage is. And the biggest things, let me see if I can get my report from Marlon. The biggest things in this house that are consuming power, the big appliances, the AC units, and then my desktop computer. Because it's a power machine and it uses a lot. And it's on 24/7, 365 days for the year. Right? Put these devices, get this and put on your panel box. And then you'll stop complaining. Seriously. The cussing and the carrying on about CUC. CUC don't come in your house and use your power. Now, when I was in Jamaica, it's still hot as heck over there, believe me you. One of the interesting observations I made is that most Jamaicans don't have central AC. Some don't have none at all. As hot as it is. Oh, at night, they say at night it can get cool. I'm like, how cool? Oh, but Sandy, you got to turn on a little fan. This not really up no high time mountain and up in no hills where I'm feeling no 70 degree temperature. It's still hot as heck. And the most you're going to do is turn on a fan. They use a lot of they use those room units. I've not seen a house in Jamaica yet with central AC. Where are they? Where do they exist? People there just get used to it. So when y'all want to compare Apple, well, over there, my bill, yeah, that's because you're not getting no AC. You might be cooling one living room if you're lucky. Let's just be fair. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to love CUC. You don't have to hate CUC, but I think you should be fair to them for the service that they provide and the reliability of that service as well, right? I dare you to find, and I know y'all don't need competition, go and look at their competitors around the region. Let's keep it regional for now. Go and look at their competitors around the region for the population size that we have here. And you tell me who's going to be able to come to this country, inject millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of infrastructure development, not expect to get a return on their money, because apparently that's what y'all want. Their hair is an NPO is what you think. And see who's going to be able to do it cheaper. It cannot happen like that. That's not how it works. Now you have options. Someone said, oh, well, I can't get solar and I can't go off the grid. Yes, you can. Go get solar, get your backup batteries, and go completely off the grid. And the months that you don't have enough solar, just like me, didn't have enough to carry that entire kilowatt usage, sit in the dark, right? Have no AC, no computer, no nothing running at your house, and shut the hell up. That's how I feel sometimes when I keep reading all these maddening comments just because it's popular to hate on CUC. And I want to be very, very clear. Of probably all the countries in this, all the companies in this country, CUC is one of the few that has such a high rate of Caymanians employed. And they go out of their way to keep Caymanians employed and to offer them training opportunities, upskilling opportunities, management training. They have more women in management at CUC than most organizations. I would dare say probably maybe even all organizations on this island. So they're doing things right. You know, when people work for CUC, they never want to leave. That speaks volumes to the type of company that they are. They're actually really, really good citizens. Gabby says the day that my bill is $700, I'm going to bring out the candle and lamps. Too ridiculous. Not everybody can afford solar. Some of us will go back to basics. Well, you do what you have to do. You have to know what you can afford and what you can't afford. It isn't about affording solar. It's about if I can afford a 4,000 square foot house and whatever that mortgage is, add it on to your mortgage. It did not impact my mortgage payments that much, and it made good economic sense for the savings that I'd be realizing every single month. So by adding solar onto my house, Gabby, this is not about somebody on the streets flossing like, oh, I got $60,000 to go drop on solar panels. That's not what happened. I went to my bank and I said, it makes good sense for me to make this investment in my home. Not only does it increase the overall value of my home, but while I'm here living in it, it's going to be beneficial to me to have less of a bill every single month. And then for the first year, I never had a CUC bill, not at all. That was money I could put extra payments on the mortgage. I could save up towards my daughter's education, whatever. So every time someone gives you a solution, don't talk about, oh, you can't afford it. The real question is, can you afford not to have it? But Caymanians need to be realistic and stop living above their means. If you can't afford a 4,000 square foot house, downsize. 2,500 square feet is plenty of room for people. 1,500 square feet is plenty of room for people. Adjust your lifestyle. We cannot have it all. You can't have your cake and eat it too, or whatever the saying goes. It's as simple as that. Sion says, no, Sandy, Jamaican had central AC. Where? Because I know me can't find it. I've been searching everywhere I go. Every apartment, I go check out Airbnbs, everywhere. I don't see no central AC nowhere in Jamaica. Oh, no. And you just sit down, turn on the fan, and sit in front of the fan and chill out, no matter how hot you are. Relax yourself. Andrea says, uptown houses. I live in the country. I don't need AC. Right, because it might be cooler. At night, I think during the day, it's still hot as it, still hot. But at the end of the day, right, you can turn off your AC. I mean, go without it. Like I said, the time that I really got to appreciate what it must be like to maintain power and really pay for it is during Ivan. My attitude towards CUC changed as a result of Ivan when I had to get a generator and pay to fill that up every single day. And that's just the fuel factor. And I wasn't even carrying the whole load of my house. And every day when I had to fill that, what I spent for the month on fuel, and this was 20 years ago, was Ivan. It was killing me. And I'm like, damn, CUC still doing it better than me. Morning, caller.
Morning. Crystal Villas has central here.
Where that is? Someplace in Jamaica? I need to try and find it.
Yes, that's on Kingston 6 Hope Road.
That's a hotel.
Because I was complaining that it was too cold and my son had to cut it down. Yeah, Crystal Villas, they have AC.
All right, I have to go check them out, honey.
But that's where I was in February and in November last year with my son. and they have AC.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I gotta go find the one place in Jamaica that got AC. I'm like hotels and stuff have it, of course. Sharon says CUC has a wonderful feature in their website to monitor your usage day to day. I check this a couple times a month to keep my bill and uses in check. My bill was actually less this month. Mm-hmm. But you know what is so crazy? The people who have a bill like myself that was $100 and something less or whatever, I'm not jumping on social media posting about that. Maybe we should. Those of us who've been able to manage our AC, our bills. And I must say, there was a woman, hold on, let me see if I can find this post. Oh gosh, there's a vehicle accident in Linford Pearson. Just past Van Dyke Gardens. It has turned over. So major accident there. Please avoid that area if you can. So yeah, so avoid that area. I'm just gonna post this up on social media now for people who might be watching the social media feed. So I don't know what kind of driving y'all doing, but the vehicle has turned over on Linford Pearson this morning. What a hot mess. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hello? Hi, caller. Hello. Are
Hello?
you there? Hi.
Yeah, I'm asking if there is a country them.
If there's what, sorry?
Central AC away from Jamaica.
If there's a
Jamaica,
country.
Central. What about the rest of the country then? I'm not Central AC, bro.
Which country? I not understand the question. Which country? Okay, I don't understand the question. What was the question? Let me just try to post this up really quickly for you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm not quite sure I'm following what the caller's question was. Did anybody get the question? All right, so listen, this other person is sharing their bill. They said, I saw that bill, but it also says past due amount misrepresenting. Yeah, y'all must have think we stupid. This person's bill, I'm going to share this one with you. Thank you so much, caller. $438.51. I'm curious as to what your square footage is for your home, because square footage does matter, folks. It really does matter. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what she asking you, like if other countries, I guess they might be including other poor countries like Honduras and whatever. That's what she mean. Like if only Jamaica don't have AC. That's
Oh, I don't go to those countries, so I don't know. I mean,
that's why I got it that she asking. Like she offended. Like say, you know.
Oh, geez, on peace. Really?
Yeah, that's what she asking about Honduras. Got it. That's what she talking about.
Oh, okay. Let me try and think. When I went to Honduras and stuff, I didn't actually go in anybody's home, so I only went to like a hotel in the resort. So
where I from, we had God AC, the good sea breeze, Banaka pump. We didn't need AC, but the hotels and things got AC.
Yeah, I mean, I expect most hotels in most countries would have it. I'm not talking about the hotels. I'm talking about the homes.
Like thinking that you bash in Jamaica.
Oh, geez, I'm peace.
No AC.
I'm just, Lord Jesus, poor her. Try and pay attention now, folks. Try and pay attention.
Okay.
The point. Thank you for clarifying that, caller. The point that is being made here, folks, is that in a lot of places, and we have more Jamaicans in this country than anywhere else. So I'm saying because they can relate to what I'm saying. And a lot of countries, they don't need AC because of the weather and whatever, and they just don't have central AC. And it is what it is. That's nothing to get your panties in a bunch over and get insulted, honey child. Unbunch them panties and relax yourself. Morning, caller.
Yeah, it would be morning again. I just wanted to set you straight. She wasn't being a fan of the program. She was being like a real jackass for the whole day or maybe the whole week. And I like to say, you know what I like to say? We in all kind of mix up. And we mixed up this morning because of Jamaicans. And if you don't like me here in Cayman, then you can take the first thing smoking out of here today. Don't care where you go, just go past Pickle. Don't come with your carrying on. Jamaicans and Caymanians will make it this morning wonderfully because we say that this is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong.
Yeah,
You're there bouncing us because we don't really look at nothing. We're doing exactly what you say we're doing. You're using the most, flossing the most, and then expect what?
Nadine says she's one of the ignorant Jamaicans. Yeah, because I'm not. Let me put it in context.
Yeah,
I can speak to Jamaica because that's somewhere else where I've gone and lived in family homes. I'm talking about in people's homes, not a hotel. I would expect all hotels probably, most places to have AC. A hotel is only a couple hundred square feet, so that I'm nothing to keep that cool. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying in homes, a lot of people don't have central AC. They just have wall units, and that works perfectly fine for them. But having a wall unit where you're cooling one room is different than having these central AC units that require a lot of power. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we
and
know
like
that.
like Kamaria said, most people in the country don't need AC.
Exactly. The one or two times that I went to Jamaica, it was in the middle of the day. The sun was shining bright and hot, and I could walk for miles.
And see what Precious says? She says a lot of homes in Jamaica might have central AC, but most of the people cannot pay the bill after usage because it's so high. So the same things we killing and cussing about here about high bills, if you were doing the same thing, cooling the same square footage, whatever, even in Jamaica, it'd be high. Let me tell y'all something. I went to a grocery store in Jamaica and I meant to publish this, and I got to try and find my picture again. I took a photo of my cart of my groceries that I got one bag of groceries for $50 US. Because I had to say to Marlon, I said, how much is this? Because you know when they tell you whatever the amount is in Jamaican dollars, I have to admit that I don't really know what it means. Like it sounds, whatever. It all sounds the same to me. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a lot of money, but I know because the conversion, it really isn't. So I took a photo of, I'm going to find it on my phone. I took a photo of my one bag of groceries that was $50 CI when I did the conversion, right? And I said, if this was in Cayman now, Caymanis would be cussing going on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, yeah. I can only get a bag of groceries for $50. Well, I only got a bag of groceries for $50 in Jamaica too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, it is what it is. If you go grocery shopping in the States, I'm going to try and find that now. It's the same thing. What you're getting, how your money used to be able to stretch. Inflation, double-digit inflation. You're not getting that nowhere else again. It is what it is. I got to find my little grocery bag. Because trust me, I went grocery shopping, and like I said, it was thousands of dollars in Jamaica. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I mean. He paid the bill, so I was like, all right, whatever. And then I said to him, out of curiosity, how much is that in CI? He pulled out his conversion. It was $50. And it wasn't nothing much in the bag,
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying that people need to, number one, keep things in perspective. Number two, stop complaining so damn much, because God knows I'm sick and tired of complaining. And adjust your way of living. How many of you would be willing to downsize your homes? All right, you're complaining about the cost of living. All right. That means that you can't afford it. What are you willing to sacrifice if you cannot afford it? Huh? What would you sacrifice?
I don't have any frills in the cart when I go shopping. I got my pick 5, I got my 5-pound bag of Irish beers, I got my bread, I got my water, and I got my mosquito stick and spray, and I got a little soap powder and bleach. I pulls up the cart with what I want and what I need, and I goes out to the front. I says to the lady out front, usually a lady out front, I say, look, I shopping with $75, $85 today. Then we get to the 7 to make me know, and I begin to pick.
Yes.
The one that I can do without the most. And I leave it right there with, I'm sorry, but you know how we go. And that's every time I go to any grocery store. When I say pick 5, everybody know that that's faster. But I get my pick 5 first. And I'll get no big time steaks. I get them ground beef. The sausages, the cold cuts that is a little off, getting close to the due date. explanation. That's how I shop. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with us. We want to live like the Joneses. We wouldn't go to school past high school because we had one get out. We want to live like the Joneses. Well, the Joneses probably went to high school, finished high school, good, went off to college, did the college rounds. At one time, the children in America who wasn't so privileged, they used to go to college if they could get in, and then they used to clean up the place. They were janitors and maintenance and do this and do that to be in college. We don't do that here. We go to the government. If the government don't give us, we go someplace else, or we do without that too. But later on in life, you got to do without planning. I couldn't go to college, so I know I got to do without. I have to do without planning.
Yeah.
But you can't be eating Chateaubriand and strawberries and grapes and all that kind of thing. You got to wait till they go on sale.
You must live within your means. I think a lot of people don't even know what that means.
Financial institution.
A lot of people have no clue what that means. There was a young lady who commented on this post, right? She says that her bill actually went down. Big shout out to this young lady. And she talked about some of the things that she has done that has actually impacted her CUC bill. She's like, my bill went down from last month, and here's all of the things that I have done. And I thought, wow, thanks for that comment. Another person says, buy the Emporia Energy Monitor and smart plugs, because they really do make a difference.
That's the one that you can track your own usage.
Yes, we have that here. And that's how I can tell you exactly what appliances are costing me the most in my house.
Okay.
What's using the kilowattage. Oh, yeah, it tells you everything.
Okay. But, you know, the cost of living in the Cayman is high. And we understand that because it's an import.
But show me where in the world.
It's an import territory.
Show me where in the world the cost of living, the people who have to live in that country and get the salaries in that country don't think that it's high.
I like I tell you, I get my pick 5 by 5 pound bag of potatoes. Sometimes I don't use onion, but I always use my pepper. Sometimes I don't use onion, I always use my garlic. Look for my ginger, get my bread, get my water, get my washing stuff, and then get my little spray. And I'm by the cash. I'm not going. I like my plants, but I'm not going to pick up no plants. I don't pick up no chocolate candies. I don't do no ice cream. I don't. If I do cakes, I know if I do one little pastry, I know I won't be able to do that next time I come to the shop either. So I take some, we can do better. We can do better.
I mean, listen, if you can afford it, if you know you can afford it, then you put your hat to that lifestyle. If you can't afford it, then my point is you just adjust.
Yeah, though people will say, don't hang your hat no higher, because when you climb up, you take it down there, but see you're behind. But I guess nowadays, we don't mind who look up underneath us. So that's another slippage that we go through in Cayman. We just don't care.
Thank you, Carla.
Okay, bye.
Andrea says, is it just Jamaicans complaining about CUC? Is it people in general? Everybody complaining. Those are Caymanians that are complaining. I'm just using that as a reference point, right? So, for example, while we were in Jamaica, we stayed at, for 5 days, we stayed at a really nice condo, 2,800 square feet. Beautiful, 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 right? The owner of that premises is actually remodeling. He's going to redo the whole thing. And one of the biggest things when he met with his designer that he said, because it's got these nice, beautiful arching ceilings with like the wood panelings, whatever. He said, I need to drop the ceiling because they have the window units in every room. He says, I need to make this place more energy efficient. He's already changed out the windows, double pane secured windows. That helps with your AC bill. He said, I want to drop. And I said, it's too bad because one of the most interesting things about the house is the ceiling height, right? And the beauty of the wood, because like a different color, like a grayish looking wood. So beautiful. But he's like, I have to give up beauty, aesthetics for practicality. And the practicality is the growing cost of fuel, even in Jamaica, even with just wall units, not central AC, he wants to bring that under control. So he told the designer, every one of these rooms, we're going to now bring the ceiling all the way down do the regular sheetrock ceiling and basically cover up and hide those high panels. Because he can't afford, even with window units, it's too much money. And he uses that for an Airbnb. But it's still 2,800 square feet. Okay? But at night, when you're sleeping in the one room, if you only have one person staying there and you're all sleeping in one room, you're only cooling one room. And trust me, those wall units, they make sense. Because I think about it. At night, I am cooling 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms on one side of the house and only sleeping in one. Because it's split unit and it controls the office and 1, 2, 3, 3 bedrooms. Okay, 4 rooms. And I'm only sleeping in one room. So all those other rooms are being cooled and that poor little AC unit working overtime. For what? Nobody not in those rooms. And then on the master side, I'm cooling 2 more rooms over in the master because the master has its own AC unit. Go with window units. This is what I'm telling you. Maybe y'all don't need central AC. Have someone come in. Do an audit in your house. Can I get away with window units? They might not look as good, but guess what? You're going to be complaining less about that CUC bill, I bet you. Look at your options. They actually have these smaller units now that have some kind of solar panel attached to the unit. We're looking at one of those. Yeah, Leroy says split is the best. I'm saying that that's probably the way to go. Miss Sue, this is what I want you to do. She says that I have been in my house for 17 years. We've had very hot weather in July and August, September too, and never had bills like this before. $650, $700, my AC units are serviced regularly. 3 separate units. I cut back on everything I can think of, and I'm on a budget since I lost my husband. There were over 200 complaints about their CUC bill, not just mine. 200 complaints or 200 comments. There's a big difference between the two. But what I would love for you to do, Miss Sue, like I said, I will put $150 towards your CUC bill if you can show me your usage of last month versus this month. Don't talk about the dollar amount. Show me the usage because my bill has gone down. Other people have commented that their bill has gone down. Show me your usage. And would you be willing to do an audit on your home to check windows? You've been in a house for 17 years. Anybody ever check those windows and how well insulated they are? Do you have them properly sealed? Right? If your AC units are 17 years old, I don't know if you've ever replaced them, they're not high energy efficient. I hate to tell you that. So you're not getting the best use out of those AC units in any event. Like, I would love for you to sign up again because, you know, you are on a fixed income. And I understand as a senior how challenging that is. But I would love for you to sign up for an audit and let's see what can be done. But I'm willing to bet that your usage from last month and this month, if you said your bill went up, your usage is not the same. Now, to your point, yes, we've had hot weather in July and August, but we've never had, again, let's step back now, keep the facts where they need to be. We've never had temperatures where the entire world have said this. The warmest day on record ever in the history of this planet that we know about. It might have been warmer before humans were around, I suppose. But that's different. That is different, Miss Sue, than saying, yeah, it's always warm in the summer. This is saying this is the hottest it's ever been, ever. As long as humans have been around and keeping track of temperatures. That is different. That's a different kind of heat. People dying from this heat. Right? So this is different. Warmest day on record, and you think we here in the tropics not feeling it? You think your AC unit not feeling it? So these are some of the things that I think we need to be talking about. 2023 heat keeps breaking records. Those are people who don't want to believe in climate change. They better wake up because something going on. I don't know who you want to blame it on. Right? Listen to this. Marine heat waves are expected to increase from 40% of the world's oceans and seas in June to 50% later this summer, according to the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. El Nino warming up the Eastern Pacific Ocean. That's going to intensify and linger until the end of the year. So not only is your summer going to be hotter, but the heat is going to continue longer than it traditionally would. So you got to think about what that means. That's hot. Setting new daily records. 90 degrees, but it feels like 110. You better believe you feeling it. Jim says, I'd love to know what AC units last 17 years. Ours definitely didn't or have. And yes, services regularly. Well, I don't know if she's had her AC units that long. I'm just saying. When were they changed? How old are your AC units? Jim, you'd be surprised how people hang on to those things forever. Scion says, I plug out everything I'm not using, and I don't usually use my AC. And are you complaining about your bill, Scion? I'm curious to know. Okay, so she says they're not 17 years old. They've all been changed and updated. Okay, so how old are they? These are the questions that we have to be asking ourselves, right? How energy efficient are they? Karen says that the timer plugs are being sold. You can buy them on Amazon. They're different though than the system that actually monitors your output. So again, look at your usage though. Tell me, what is your usage? This person whose bill is $438.51. I think she has 3 people in her household. Let me see what her square footage is. She said her square footage is 1,400 square feet. She says that's all I can afford to maintain. I don't hang my cap further than I reach. And what she said the caller needs to be upset about is that the poor Jamaican just lost his life for nothing. Not talking about AC units. Lord have mercy. And the person says, I check my usage monthly and even compare to last year. And as you can see, my usage from June of 2020 was more than my usage in June of 2023. My usage was less, hence my bill was less this month. People sound like they want free energy. Basic concept, the more you use, the more you pay. It's consumption-based pricing. Yep, that sounds about right. And as you can see, her usage went down in June. April, it went up. May, it went up a little bit. It was down even further in May. It was down even further in March. She had a good month in February. So I challenge you, Ms. Sue, to look at this section of your bill to see what you're actually using. So again, it is based on usage. Scion only paying $30 a month? Oh, Lord Jesus, I wish I had your bill. And of course, I say that tongue in cheek because we all want to pay $30 a month, but Scion, what size place are you living in? Probably a 1-bedroom apartment. Can I live in a 1-bedroom apartment? No. So these are the sacrifices. Irvin says, sorry, mixed up the bill. The shop one went up, but the house went down. Apologies. And I used to have a shop too in my bill because I was a corner unit, had windows on one side, all that heat coming in every day. My little desk was right by the window. I'd have to crank up that aging AC unit to try and keep the place cool. There were months when my shop bill was more than my house, if you can imagine. And your shop, you're not running as many hours even, you know what I'm saying? All right, folks. I'm sure CUC will come on soon. I know $30 is cheap. I don't know what you must only cook in on the stove top, honey Jill. So listen, I want to talk about something tomorrow. We didn't get to it today about the mental health facility, but I don't want to rush the topic because it's actually really, really important. We need to address the opposition has come out with a letter over the weekend and Friday, and we need to talk about that as it relates to the mental health bill and the mental health facility and why it hasn't opened. Because there's a reason why it hasn't opened. Ms. Bonnie says we went from central AC to split units, electric stove to propane stove, and electric dryer to propane dryer. Our windows are also sealed, and it does make a difference in our CUC bill. Sharon says last year my bill was clocking $700 plus a month. We took out the central AC unit and now have window units. The bill has gone down significantly. On average, our bill is $375 a month. Listen, there is nothing wrong with window units. If you see where it makes sense and have someone come in who is an expert in the installation of these window units and have them look at, your house design and how it would work, that's cutting her bill in half. Consider a window unit. Like I said, I think for me, it'd probably make a lot of sense, to be honest, because at night, I'm cooling automatically 4 rooms when I don't need to. I only need 1 room cooled. Ace says the CUC used solar panels to help lower the cost. I now live in the US and many power companies are using solar panels. I think we'll ask this question of them, but I think that they had confirmed that they have, they do use solar to some extent. I don't know that all of their engines can obviously be 100% solar, but I think that they are looking for like solar farms and stuff like this. I think they use some degree of solar. Talking about heat and impact on AC consumption, what about the impact on workers? Says Selvin. I'm a project manager and have to be in and out of construction sites and try to cover up as much as possible. In some countries, work is just 7 to 12 due to the heat. Is there any monitoring of the impact on our construction, landscaping, and all outdoor workers, including fisher people? I don't know that anyone is monitoring that, Selvin, but I tell you what, it's actually a really good question. And of course, I think for the most part, we are leaving it up to individuals to self-monitor. So I tell you, yesterday, I was so hot. I went through so much water. And this is just being out in the AC for like, hear me talking about being on the AC, being on the heat for just like an hour and a half. And I was feeling miserable and hot and dehydrated. I had to go beg some water from, what's the name of the place there? Brooklyn's and Camana Bay. The guy gave me 2 nice cold ice waters. And I was like, oh, thank you. Anyway, folks, that's the end of the show today. Like I said, I didn't get to talk about the mental health facility. We got to break that whole situation down. I will do that on tomorrow's program. What else didn't we get to? We had a whole slew of topics for today, but whatever we didn't get to today, we will most certainly roll it over to the next program. I want to talk about rentals a little bit and stuff as well. Utilize the available options, folks, that you have in terms of monitoring your electricity. It is worth the investment. It really, really is, without a doubt. You've got to be willing to look at your bill and see what is what. All right. That's all I got to say on that topic. We will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Please be safe. Look at this. CUC even went to great lengths to do this. Why doing nothing differently can still cost you more? So everybody's like, oh, I'm not doing that. And see, they show you the inside temperature, the outside temperature. Temperature makes a huge difference. It really, really does. I mean, I don't know who can argue with that. You can feel it. I can feel the temperature. It even makes my pressure go up, child. All right, folks. Y'all have a wonderful Monday. Off to an interesting start. It's not the best start for some people, but we'll continue to keep all of you in our prayers and thoughts in relation to the Omar situation. So sorry for your loss, honestly. Anyway, folks, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.